budgets in such a record time. As Appropriations Chief, he also played a crucial role in obtaining funding for the following: the Free Higher Education Law, the increase in the salaries of soldiers and policemen, free irrigation for the farmers, and the Coconut Farmers and Industry Development Trust Fund. As a legislator, he is the author of landmark legislation such as the Green Jobs Act, which is hailed by the International Labor Organization as the first of its kind in the world, the Job Start Philippines Act, which provides our countrymen with better access and opportunity for employment, and the Universal Access to Quality Tertiary Education Act, which provides for free tuition and exemption from other fees in state universities and colleges and local universities and colleges in the Philippines. He is also the former Cabinet Secretary, co-chair, and spokesperson of the Interagency Task Force for the Management of Emerging Infectious Disease. Currently, he is the chairperson of the Civil Service Commission. Let us welcome Attorney Carlo Alexei B. Nograles. Our second speaker is Rosemary Edilion. He is presently the Undersecretary for National Development Policy and Planning at the National Economic and Development Authority. Ms. Edilion holds a PhD in economics from La Trobe University in Australia, an MA degree in economics from the University of the Philippines School of Economics, and an MS degree in statistics from the UP School of Statistics. She is also a 2019 Presidential Gawad CES awardee. Among her major responsibilities is shepherding the formulation of the Philippine Development Plan, that is an elaboration of the country's priorities over the medium term and is the blueprint of the government policies, programs, and projects. She also oversees the monitoring of the PDP implementation. In addition, she's in charge of providing technical advice on policy issues to both the legislative and executive branches of government, especially the committees of the NIDA board. Presently, Ms. Edilion chairs the Task Group on Recovery under the National Task Force Against COVID-19. She also chairs the Technical Working Group on Anticipatory and Forward Planning and a member of the Sub-TWG on Data Analytics under the Interagency Task Force on the Management of Emerging Infectious Diseases. Ms. Edilion also chairs the Social Development Committees, the Technical Board and Technical Committees on Tariff-Related Matters, and is a member of the Development Budget Coordination Committee of the NIDA board. She also heads the Secretariat of the Economic Development Cluster of the Cabinet. Undersecretary Edilion is currently a member of the board of the Philippines Economic Society, where she used to be president. She is also a member of the Philippine Commission of UNESCO. She was formerly the chair of the Macroeconomics Committee of the UNESCOP and the vice chair of the Economic Committee of the APEC. Our last speaker for this session is a full professor at the University of the Philippines at Diliman, at the Electrical and Electronics Engineering Institute, specializing in digital signal processing. She served the science and technology for 10 years, until July of 2022, as Undersecretary for R&D, Undersecretary for S&T Services, and Executive Director of DOS-TP Shared. She was the proponent and the first program leader of the DOST Science for Change program that received the UN Public Service Award in June of 2022. She was the youngest and the first female dean of the UP College of Engineering from 2004 to 2010. She received her BSE and the MSE degrees from the University of the Philippines, Diliman, and her PhD degree from the University of Michigan. She has been the recipient of several awards in engineering and education, including the Gawad Career Executive Service Presidential Award. Ladies and gentlemen, it is my pleasure to introduce a former colleague in UP Diliman, Professor Dr. Rowena Cristina L. Guevara. Before we proceed with the discussions, may we request our participants to please reserve their questions during the open forum later after the three discussions. For our participants in Zoom, you may type your questions in the question and answer tab. And for those who are tuned in our Facebook live stream, you may utilize the comments section. Kindly indicate your name, affiliation, and to whom the question is addressed. The Philippine health system faced a combined challenge of responding to the pandemic and maintaining critical healthcare provisions with limited and oftentimes stretched resources. The first discussion aims to answer what lessons were learned from the pandemic that would move the Philippines forward in strengthening health system governance. Unfortunately, Chairman Carlo could not be with us physically, but has pre-recorded a video of his presentation. So let us now sit back, relax, as we tune in to his discussion.
Good morning, everyone. It is my honor to join you at the 15th Philippine National Health Research System, or PNHRS Week, with the theme Health Research, Responding to Challenges Towards National Recovery and Resiliency. As your former Cabinet Secretary and co-chairperson of the Interagency Task Force for the Management of Emerging Infectious Diseases, or the IATF, and now the current chairperson of the Civil Service Commission, allow me to share my thoughts on the topic, effective governance structure in response to public health crises. I commend your vision and efforts in utilizing various platforms and to further raise awareness and consciousness on how public health emergencies could be dealt with. This week-long celebration of the PNHRS opens an avenue for all the key stakeholders to share and to learn about resilient health systems and research-based strategies and evidence-based approaches in addressing emergencies and disasters. With our experience with this pandemic, we have seen how COVID has affected us primarily in two fronts. The first relates to the virus's effect on our healthcare systems and our citizens' health. And the second is its consequences on economic movement, as seen in the economic slowdown of the country. COVID-19 has exposed the vulnerability of all countries' health and economic systems. It has become a crucial learning phase that has allowed us to devise mechanisms to stay afloat and cautiously navigate our way to a direction of inclusive, sustainable, and resilient recovery. As you know, the IATF was created in 2014 to respond to concerns on infectious diseases in the Philippines. It became a multi-sectoral body co-chaired by the Department of Health and the Cabinet Secretary, with almost all departments as members. The IATF also calls for other agencies, instrumentalities, local government units, and even the private sector to gather support and strengthen collaboration to establish, prepare, and ensure that government can respond, assess, monitor, contain, and control any proliferation of diseases in the country. In January 2020, the IATF immediately convened and began issuing resolutions about the close monitoring of the outbreak that was happening in Wuhan, China. At regular IATF meetings, we deliberated on emerging issues and crafted policies that guided the different departments and agencies in their respective memoranda circulars and advisories, the LGUs in issuing their executive orders and ordinances, the key players in the business sector in navigating their operations and setting their company's policies, and for the guidance of the general public. While planning for these policies, the IATF benchmarked with other countries, observed our local state, gathered data, and consulted experts on their projections and opinions in order to come up with science-based decisions and solutions. We effectively designated COVID-19 response teams and safety and health officers and conducted internal risk exposure assessments through the help of our local government units for proper monitoring and mitigation of the proliferation of the virus. But admittedly, the concern went beyond the structure of health systems governance. So we stressed the importance of the whole of society and whole of nation approaches and put in place mechanisms to implement these. And at the height of the pandemic, we were able to get everyone on board. Another important strategy that we institutionalized is proper information dissemination. The IATF provided regular updates on the pandemic situation to keep our kababayans well informed using daily reports and social media cards on COVID-19 data, televised meetings with the former president, and the many press briefings from key officials, health experts, and authorities. We utilized various IEC or Information, Education, and Communication materials containing the minimum public health standards, guidelines such as the conduct of mass gatherings and reduced physical capacity in entities and business establishments, recognizing that relevant information disclosure to the public should be among the topmost priorities during any public health emergency. We all experienced and learned so much in the past 2 years and 8 months. And I would like to emphasize that as leaders and movers in our own fields and professions, especially most of you who are involved in the health system's governance of our country, we have all these lessons and experiences to look back to help us actualize our hope for a new and better normal. There is no turning back to the business as usual or the pre-pandemic way of doing things. We have to strategically adopt the concept of build back better in the programs, projects, and policies that we make. We already incorporated this in our government's recovery plan and identified a number of policies and initiatives to pave the path for resilience and recovery. This is where having leaders with a clear vision and a solid plan plays a crucial role. Our goal now is to ensure that we make it happen. The pandemic also changed the landscape and behavior in workplaces around the world. We needed to understand this new normal for different sectors, including our government workforce, and come up with policies and programs to ensure unhampered delivery of government services despite pandemic restrictions. That's why the Civil Service Commission released CSC Resolution number 22-00209, or the policies on flexible work arrangements in the government. This is a landmark policy that provides adaptable and responsive work schemes for government officials and employees to manage any current or emergent situations caused either by public health emergencies, natural and man-made calamities, or any other situation that may affect the delivery of public services. The Flexible Work Arrangements Guidelines is a parallel policy to the telecommuting law of the private sector and covers the 1.7 million government employees regardless of status of appointment. Through this policy, we have made the work environment for our civil servants more flexible, resilient, and adaptable, as agencies can tailor fit work arrangements within their offices according to their specific needs, functions, and mandates. Another strategy for resilient services is incorporating digital solutions in our offices' processes, delivery of our services, and transactions. At the CSC, I'm happy to share that we have taken steps towards digitization and digitalization of our services. These interventions are only examples of our commitment towards making government services more resilient, efficient, inclusive, and accessible to the Filipino people. While it is true that no nation can ever be 100% prepared in all crises, mitigating its effects through sustainable and resilient governance structures is possible. Let us continue transforming our researches and learnings into progressive actions so that we may all be able to usher one another to a better future. Congratulations to the Central Luzon Health Research and Development Consortium, or CLHRDC, and the Department of Science and Technology, Region 3, for organizing this event. Thank you very much. Keep safe at mabuhay ang serbisyo publiko.
Thank you very much, USEC Chair Carlo, for the presentation. Now moving forward, this pandemic has shown us the vulnerabilities of our health system. It is imperative that we now have to realign our country's health financing for this current condition to provide us a discussion on the structures and policies that could contribute to the stability and sustainability of a responsive funding landscape that supports national recovery and resiliency. We have here with us today USEC Rosemary Edalion. USEC Edalion, please.
Taas pala. Oops. With your indulgence, if I may take off my mask. Kasi when I put on my glasses later, magbi-mist bigla eh. Hindi ko makikita to. Yeah, anyway. Good morning, everyone, and thank you very much for inviting me, inviting Daneda to be part of this celebration. Special shout out to my good friend, Yusek Gev, Professor Gev na siya. Niinggit ako kanina sa mga ano niya, sa luwag ng kanyang schedule ngayon. Sabi ko sa akin dito, ilang beses ano to, on-off, Zoom, not Zoom. Ay, nako. Anyway, and also special mention to Ms. Eva Guchonko, Dr. Eva Guchonko. Good morning, ma'am. And to my colleagues from government, maraming salamat and good morning sa ating lahat. So I was asked to present on this health financing and sustainability of health systems and how do we achieve progress. I also would like to take this opportunity to influence na rin yung program ng health research. So please, I hope you will give me that much leeway. Sayang yung pagkakataon because I know that I am talking to the right people. So this is how I would like to proceed in this talk. First, what do we want? Planner, no? So we start with what is the end that we want? And then where are we now? Especially since we have been through this COVID-19 pandemic, and we still are actually, okay? Looking at current health indicators, although admittedly many of these health indicators are outdated, and that's another problem that we will need to improve yung ating health data system. And then how do we get there? I'll be sharing with you the eight-point agenda of the President, and then the emerging framework of the Philippine Development Plan 2023 to 2028. Siguro by the end of the day, mafa-finalize na namin. But I think by large, ito na yung ipapakita ko, that's already the PDP framework. And then a bit of discussion on health financing strategies going forward. Ano yung nakikita namin na dapat ayusin? So first of all, what do we want? So many of you have been familiar, no? Especially those who have heard me talk several times over about this, yung ambition natin 2040. That back in 2015, actually, late 2015 and then early 2016, we had this nationwide survey, nationally representative. We also did several focus group discussions where we asked Filipinos, what do you want to be? What do you want to do? And what do you want to have by 2040? So you might be asking, bakit by 2040 inisip namin? So that would be a horizon of 25 years. No? Pag 25 years kasi, we figured, that's time enough for you to have actually already reached your full potential. Kung hindi pa, you have a problem. Ano? Number two, ang median age pala natin is mga 23, no? So mga 25, so you're talking about mga 48. So you should have already reached your peak in terms of career, in terms of family, yon. Another is, we think that it is a realizable future, even for the youth. It's simply kapag halimbawa nahihirapan sila mag-isip, ang aming prompt is that just imagine yourself being at the age of your parents. Yon, kasi roughly that's that's a generation gap, So roughly the age of your parents. What do you want to have been, have done, or have had, yon, by that time? Yon. So yun yung yun tanong namin. And this is the summary of summary of that aspiration na tinatawag namin. The life we want. Matatag, maginhawa, panatag. They want strong family and community ties, a comfortable lifestyle, and a secure future. I also want to ask you, pakitanong na lang sa sarili nyo, does this resonate also with your aspiration for the future? Ito rin ba yung gusto nyo? So if it is, then you can actually identify with the millions of other Filipinos. Ganito rin ang gusto ng bawat Pilipino. Matatag, maginhawa, panatag. Matatag because their family is together, they had time with friends, they enjoy work-life balance, and that's why we're happy with the recent, ang ilalabas pa lang na signed resolution of the CSC allowing for flexible work arrangements, work from home. Of course, prior to this, naipasa na natin telecommuting in the private sector. A strong sense of community. We hope that this will also translate, yung work-life balance na yun will also translate to us being chummy-chummies with our neighbors. Sana man lang kilala natin. Ganyan tipo ba? Next, we all want a maginhawa na buhay. At the time that we did this, yun ang unang tanong sa amin, maginhawa lang? Hindi ba mayaman? Yan. But the thing is, this is really the aspiration of most Filipinos. Merong mga nag-a-aspire maging mayaman, but it's just like 4-5% of that entire, the sample. So, talagang ito yung gusto ng Pilipino, maginhawa. Pero hindi basta-basta maginhawang, na 3 beses ang araw kakain, hindi yun. So it's really, well, first of all, of course, at the very least, it's free from hunger and poverty. Next, a decent house with secured long-term tenure. Yan ang klaseng maginhawa. Next, transport and mobility options. And next, eto na, travel and vacation. Yan. Makakapunta sila dito, makakapag-stay sila sa Marriott nang walang seminar. O yan. Strictly pleasure. Yan, okay. Next, panatag. They want to feel secure about the future. And what does this mean? It translates to having enough resources for day-to-day needs and unexpected expenses. Okay? They want to enjoy peace and security wherever they go. A long and healthy life. Actually, we have numbers for each of these. No? For the long and healthy life, ang sinasabi namin, at least 80 years. 80 years of productive life. So, Gev, ilang taon na tayo ngayon? 80 years pa. Medyo mahaba-haba pa to. Anyway, and then being able to look forward to a comfortable retirement. So this is actually the life we want. And actually, dito pa lang makikita nyo na how you can place the health research agenda. Of course, very, very clearly, it will fall into that long and healthy life. Okay? In fact, this is the very, very thing, the very, very dimension of aspiration that was really compromised no? During the time of the COVID-19, being able to have enough resources for day-to-day needs, yung being able to look forward to a comfortable retirement. Ito yung mga, kumbaga, naging problematic tayo during the COVID-19. So where are we now? We are actually getting ready for another survey for this one. So right now I don't have the numbers yet, but we can conjecture some trends siguro, no? Some directions of where are we now. But first, again, just a review of where we were. And this is as of August 5. No? The whole world actually went through this pandemic. So 579 million unconfirmed, are the confirmed cases of COVID-19 as of August 5. And we all know that this is an underestimate. Ito lang yung mga na-test, okay? And so the real number is really mataas na mataas talaga. Probably easily times 2 of this one. Baka nga sabihin pa nila times 3. Okay? And then the deaths, 6.4 million. So this is really unprecedented. And it's a term that's always been used. Parang gas-gas na nga siya. Pero totoo talaga. And like we always say whenever we do a press briefing is hindi lang tayo no ang that went through this. And it's also very, very informative to look at the experiences of our neighbors, how they responded and how they were able to cope. Yan. Lesson na rin sa atin. So first, where are we now? So just to go back, what happened during the COVID-19? In terms of matatag, well, mas dumami yung families together kasi maraming nag-uwian na OFW, but that's not the kind of families together that we want, no? Hindi yung ganung tipo. Time with friends, ang problema, virtual time with friends. So also not the kind of time with friends that we want. Work-life balance, mukhang, I don't know about you, but in our case, and si Yusek Gev and si Dr. Eva, parang hindi balance na nung time na super trabaho. Yeah. And a strong sense of community. I think this was one of the silver linings. No, we all got together, all of government actually, and we also engaged with the private sector in quite a lot of strategies. Free from hunger and poverty, we will be reporting the 2021 full year poverty estimate on Monday. So hindi ko pa mare-report. But for the first semester of 2021, we already know and we have already announced that it actually went up. And we expected that. Talagang yung ating gains in poverty reduction from 2015 to 2018, which saw poverty reduction reduced from 23 point something percent to a 16.6%. Okay? Tumaas siya nung first semester of 2021 to a 23%. Yan. So that's pretty high. And we're hoping that for the full year, usually naman mas bababa talaga yung full year than the first semester estimate. And that's really because our poverty is income-based. And therefore, mas marami kang bonuses during the second half. Diba? Diyan dumadating yung mga bonuses. Diyan din dumadating yung mas maraming trabaho actually. No? Again, seasonal kasi. Also because of Christmas. A decent house with secure long-term tenure. I think uh, the problem we had was for all those people that had to go home to their provinces, and then ang pagbalik nila, wala na pala silang babalikan. Ganun. So again, they had to mga boarding house ulit na not good conditions. Transport and mobility options actually by and large remain the same, but what we have also learned is that we need to have more of the active mobility options. Travel and vacation, wala. Super wala. Vacation pero walang travel, no? Okay. Enough resources for day-to-day needs. Many of our kababayans, well, including us, no? But perhaps not among those in government, but many of our kababayans had to really dip into their savings just to get by. Peace and security, again, a silver lining, umokay siya during the pandemic because we were all suffering the same pain. Long and healthy life, of course, that was a problem, not only because of COVID, but also because of the non-COVID that we were not able to attend to. Okay? And then comfortable retirement, of course, naging question mark din siya. Now, I'd like to share with you, this is actually taken off from the SDG. Okay, so as you know, the SDG has 17 goals, 169 targets, 232 indicators. Yan. And like we always say, whenever we do training on SDG, actually interconnected lahat ng mga SDGs through the targets, through the 169 targets. And the first thing we did, this was early on in the pandemic, was to try and do that network analysis again of the SDG, just, for us to find out ano yung mga pwede nating matutunan using this SDG framework in fighting communicable diseases, like the COVID, which is a communicable disease. That's actually target 3.3 of the SDG, fighting communicable disease. And then when we did the network analysis, ganito ang lumabas. First, yun. We need to fight substance abuse, and then we need to control yung smoking. And this was really a good, an eye-opener for us kasi parang it was already there in the SDG framework that yung fighting communicable diseases is really about having a very, very good immune system. Kasi viral di ba? So usually, wala naman talaga tayong gamot sa virus. It's really about your body being able to quickly produce the antibodies. Oh, para akong medical doctor na, sorry. So, yun. And we saw that during this COVID-19, it's really those people with comorbidities that had problems managing this COVID-19. Kasi medyo matagal. No? Matagal mag-develop yung kanilang body yung kanilang sistema ng antibodies if ever makaka-develop. Yan. And by that time, sobra lang nag-replicate yung virus. And so in the SDG framework, this was one of those relationship, yung substance abuse and the alcohol. Next, they also looked at they also said na ito pa yung isang link diyan is having that good environment. Again, this is also so you can have healthy lungs, I think. Yun. Kasi nga communicable diseases, especially kung respiratory to. So we're talking about having livable communities, okay? Having sustainable transport options, okay? And then yung occupational safety and health hazards. Yun. So that we're able to address the mga occupational safety and health hazards. And then another very, very strongly linked to target 3.3 is the biodiversity. and the environment as a whole. Okay. Again, this stems from the fact that over time we are seeing many of these zoonotic diseases. And they're saying masyadong nag-link na ba, masyado na magkasama yung yung tao tsaka yung habitat ng animal kingdom. And so we have all this yung tawid na yon. Okay? But of course, these are also very broad, and therefore, ang kailangan talaga natin is there. The research part is very important. This is actually target 3.8 of the SDG. So, nandyan yung health research na, para sa akin, not just to develop the vaccines and the medicines, but also to determine what are those factors in the environment, factors in the cities, communities, transport, etc., that actually have very serious health concerns. So we can alert the policymakers, so we can alert the Department of Labor and Employment na yun ang kailangan nilang ayusin. And then, of course, target 3.6 is about universal healthcare. Okay? Obviously, kailangan talaga yon. And then, target 3.C, this is the healthcare financing. And then, isa pang nakalink dito, of course, is that one. Economic growth, okay? Sustainable economic growth, full employment, full employment, and then yung economic growth, sustainable economic growth. So as you can see, yung healthcare financing is actually, medyo small part siya of this whole gamut of things that can fight communicable diseases. Yon. There are so many aspects, and I would even say that with respect to the research agenda, although maganda yung mga research agenda, that have to do with the discovery ng drugs, tama yon, okay lang din yon. But we still need those mga epidemiological researches, actually, so that we know what is it about this, the ones on the, right, yan, that we need to address, control, even regulate at the very least. So, just to go back to ano ba yung naging health risk factors natin that made us quite vulnerable to this COVID-19. Why did we have to go into those serious lockdowns? Of course, siguro ang isa doon is yung kasing ginawa ng iba, no? So gaya lang tayo, yon. But seriously, we were really in pretty bad shape to begin with. And dahil wala pang gamot, wala pang bakuna, that was the intervention, yung non-pharmaceutical intervention that was available to us noong umpisang-umpisa. In terms of cardiovascular deaths, you see this? So I'm looking at Philippines, Thailand, Vietnam, Malaysia, Indonesia, and Singapore. Sorry to say, tayong pinakamataas. Okay? In the region. Tayong pinakamataas. And so again, this is a matter for, I would say, an epidemiological research. Okay? Maganda para doon sa mga meron na, ano yung pinakamagandang treatment for this one. Okay? But this is a serious condition that really limited our ability to be able to live with the virus. Kasi if we didn't have this mga comorbidities na to, okay na sana no? Diabetes prevalence, actually nandun tayo sa medyo gitna. Daig natin ang Singapore and Malaysia, surprisingly, yun. But this is also very old data. This is 2017 data. Smokers, surprisingly, so this is 2016 data. We have actually stopped the survey on yung sa tobacco use, but we'll see how we can update this. Kasi lumalabas, sa mga male smokers, again, nasa middle tayo, 40.8, lower than Indonesia, Ang taas ng Indonesia, 76.1. A bit lower than Vietnam at 45.9. But look at the female smokers, 7.8. Although it's a small proportion naman, no? But all across the region, mataas tayo. Median age, bata tayo. Okay? Tapos, the percentage of 65 years and older, mas maliit tayo. And this is actually one reason why yung deaths natin from COVID-19 was also the lowest. Yun. It's really because we have a young population. And this is also the reason why in Europe, European countries, ang taas talaga. Kasi talagang mga, they're old smoking, like Italy and Spain, yeah. Anyway, another problem we had, another very big vulnerability that we had, in terms of density. So can you see that second row? Population density, number of people per square kilometer, and this is average, and this is average. So Singapore, of course, that's 7,915, pero naka ano yun eh, ano tawag doon? Yung mga housing flats nila, okay, HBD na flats nila. And I've been into some of those flats. It's not your usual na 11 square meters or 22 square meters. Mga malalaking flats ito, no? So, very good provision for ventilation, ganyan. Sa atin, so if you take out Singapore, tayong pinakamataas. 351.87. Okay. Tingnan nyo yung hand washing facilities, yung sa pinakababa. Okay. Percent of households or families with basic hand washing facilities in the premises. So it's just 78.46%. Well, mas mataas tayo than Indonesia, but look at Thailand, Vietnam, 85.85%, 86%. So, ang dami natin kailangang ayusin actually. But let me just proceed to health financing. Ito pa yung isang kalungkot din. Anyway, so it impacts the entire health system, obviously. Because it impacts the accessibility of the healthcare, the quality, efficiency, even of the primary healthcare. Now, to be fair, our health spending, government's health spending, has been increasing. So from 2014, nasa mga less than 500,000, pagdating ng 2019, halos 800,000 na to. Billion ito. Okay? But as a share, yung percent share of that public health expenditure to the current health expenditure has also been increasing from 35% to 41%. However, laging may however, is ito, again, looking at all those countries, we have been spending the least on health in the region. Okay, so as a percentage of GDP, 1.66. Okay. As a percentage of that general government expenditure, nasa 7.63 lang tayo. And then the per capita natin in dollars, and this is in purchasing power parity, meaning we have taken out the differences in terms of cost of living, $154. Yan. It's even lower than Vietnam, 245. Indonesia, 175. Thailand and Malaysia, nasa 500. For Singapore, nasa 2,000. Yeah. And then, ito pa isa. Looking at the out-of-pocket spending, okay, and then versus yung current health expenditure, okay, tayo rin ang mataas dito. It's 48.56%. This has already gone down kasi before it was over 50%, and this is 2019 data to. So meaning tumaas na rin ang PhilHealth benefits dito. So look at the other countries. In Thailand, it's at 8.67. It's very, very publicly provided actually, yung kanilang healthcare. Another thing I would like you to note is that itong bars na to, they do not add up to 100. No? And the reason for that, yung nandun sa taas, it's really your HMOs that take up the slack. So, mamaya I'll show you kung ano yung, in the case of Singapore. Now, also, because of the local government code, some of the healthcare services have been devolved, no, to local government units. And you can see here in this graph that, so this is from 2014 all the way to 2019. Hindi namin sinama yung pandemic times. Ang laki ng naging increase ng national government expenditure, but local government expenditures napakabagal tumaas. Yan. So never mind that they are the ones that are supposed to provide that primary care. So the increase is really very small. Yon. So this is actually just looking in terms of the billions. So it's 2022, it's 270 billion. 2019, 169. Makikita nyo yung naging increase, no? And that's really because of the COVID-19. From 169 tumaas to 212, and then in 2021, and then 270 in 2022. That means we are actually serious about addressing the gaps, pero parang medyo too late ito. We requested from PhilHealth this data, so in terms of their registered members and dependents, and as of 2021, so they claim na 100% coverage na yung ating universal healthcare. So, well and good, but like I said, if you look at the out-of-pocket spending, yun ang medyo mataas pa rin. The problem is, if you have this very, very high out-of-pocket spending, then again, people are parang not very keen on seeking healthcare unless super lala na talaga, no? Na super writhing in pain na talaga sila. Yun. But if it's outpatient, ganyan, hindi na lang muna sila pupunta. Yan. So, we also looked at how the other countries are, where do they spend? So these are the health services and initiatives that the other countries in the region have been focusing on. First of all, the national health insurance coverage. And again, for good reason. Kasi yung mga, especially for the tertiary care, it's a matter of probabilities, so to speak. No? So, kumbaga, talagang the insurance has to be a very, very important, a significant factor in the healthcare financing, yung health insurance talaga. Primary care system, and this is really to make sure that you don't get to that catastrophic health event. Yon. So, ayusin yung primary care system. Of course, you need the human resources for health. Sino magbibigay nitong primary care na to kung wala yung HRH mo? And then the health promotion again. Again, this is really so that you don't get to that catastrophic health event. For instance, the national health insurance coverage, ito yung sinasabi ko. Actually, Singapore also has the highest out-of-pocket expenditure per capita, 1,256. But you remember, in terms of the percentage, maliit lang siya, nasa 8%. And they use this, what they call a shared responsibility framework. So, my shared responsibility, meaning, dapat you are the one primarily responsible for your health. But they provide actually lots of benefits, no? They have this, marami silang parks, marami silang mga walking. If you've been to Singapore, meron silang mga connected na walk, di ba? Pwede mong ikutin ng Singapore actually na naglalakad ka na may puno. Yan, sa gilid-gilid. Yan. Even their flats actually, if it's an HBD flat, meaning Housing Board Development, HDB, Housing Development Board flat, mataas siya, but every so often, I think every 5 floors, merong connecting na, ang tawag doon? Basta may platform that connects them, and that's really for jogging. Yan. At saka yung pinaka-rooftop nun, may mga puno-puno, and that's also where you can jog actually. Yon. And what's more, yung mga elderly nila are being given vouchers. Vouchers that they can use sa kanilang mga gym, sa kanilang mga badminton courts, sa kanilang mga pools, may ganon. So it's a shared responsibility framework with respect to healthcare, but there is that assistance from government. And then, eto pa, yung meron kang from the public and private sector, majority of the funding came from 3M, yung MediShield, MediSave, MediFund. So, karamihan sa kanila merong may health insurance. May health insurance sila. So, Philippines, maliit tayo. Okay? Maliit yung ating out of pocket. And it's really because, yun nga, kaunti yung nagpapatingin. And that's also the reason why we have the high mortality rate versus Singapore that has the lowest mortality rate. In terms of primary care system, the general, parang conventional standard, the standard being applied actually by the WHO is that 1% of our GDP must be for primary health care. Yon. And this is really to address recurring gaps and to meet the health targets. We see very strong primary care system in Singapore, Thailand, and Malaysia. And this is also attributed to their proper deployment of their human resources for health. And in Singapore, meron silang primary care network scheme. I think this is also the vision of the universal health care. Thailand, meron din silang mga district nito. And this district, they call it health promoting hospitals. Yung mga hospitals nila dyan. So you have both public and private sector also providing care services, primary care services in Malaysia. And in the Philippines, decentralized health system natin, pero mukhang may problema tayo sa distribution. Okay? So just looking at the average will be very, very misleading. And we actually learned this in the IATF. Okay? Ang lagi kong pet peeve is that because I'm from Taytay, Rizal, no? So at the time of the COVID-19, lagi na lang madalas ma-ECQ ang Rizal. Yan. And the reason for that is because of the HCUR, healthcare utilization rate, na ang pinaka-agad nilang mabibreach is the ICU utilization rate for COVID. Yan. And it's really because, nang tinignan ko yung numbers, it's really because, siyam lang ang kanilang beds, ang COVID beds, ICU, COVID beds in the province of Rizal. Sabi ka, sandali lang. Mukhang, you see what the problem is? Parang, isasara natin ang buong Rizal, and the problem is because, occupied na lahat ng beds, and it's really because they only have 9 COVID beds. Hindi ba ang solusyon is dagdagan ng bed? I even volunteered, meron kami extra bed. Yeah, but of course, sabi nila, hindi yun ang hindi lang yun ang kailangan. And they, again, credit to the DOH, they really they really explored how that can be increased. Over time, tumaas siya to 11. Yan. Nagdagdagan ng 2. But it turns out that in Rizal, wala kaming malaking hospital. Na public, na government hospital. And again, it's really because that we used to have the big hospitals, like yung Rizal Medical Center, but that is actually in Pasig. Okay? Pasig used to be the capital of Rizal, napunta na siya sa NCR. Okay? And then we also had a big hospital, the Amang Rodriguez. Okay? That's also a big hospital. It's in Marikina. used to be part of Rizal na napunta sa NCR. But the problem is, okay, nawala tong mga ito, hindi natin inayos. Na, sana na-realize nila na, uy, wala na nga palang malaking hospital sa Rizal. So this is actually something that we need to, we really need to address. And of course, DOH is very aware of this right now. So yung lower mortality rates, we have seen that it's actually attributed to a higher physician to population ratio. Again, intuitive naman ito. But ang isang, in particular, we looked at primary care physicians, that they are really the ones very, very closely correlated to having this lower mortality rates. Ganun talaga. It's really about, prevention is better than the cure. So if you are able to really prevent that catastrophic event from happening, then all the better. And then, eto na yung ating HRH. Okay? The country only has 0.8 physicians per 1,000 population. Again, the WHO standard is 1.43 per 1,000 population. And I even would say that in the case of the Philippines, this will have to be adjusted for the fact that we are an archipelago. Diba? So yung mga taga Cebu, hindi naman kaagad pwedeng pumunta, ay mga taga Siquijor, kunwari, hindi naman po pwedeng pumunta sa ano. Yeah, so a lot is missed out in the averages. There's also issues on recruitment and deployment. Okay. And then, community engagement is actually very important. And this is, again, one of those things that we need to really pay close attention to. Our community workers are mainly volunteers. Diba? Binibigyan lang natin ng allowance. So, kailangan ayusin that. I still agree that there has to be that volunteerism, pero we should try and professionalize actually yung ating mga community health workers, give them the proper training, but also give them the proper incentives. So in other, again, Southeast Asian countries, Thailand have this village health volunteers. Indonesia also has this Poshbindu, which they use very extensively during this COVID-19. Even India, actually. Diba? Nagkaroon din sila nitong kalimutan ko na naman yung kanilang term for that house-to-house na surveillance. Although like I said, yung Singapore adopts the philosophy of individual responsibility for one's own health. Talagang facilitating environment lang ang government dito. Yan. So that yung mga citizens nila do not adopt this entitlement mentality daw. So how do we get there? I really don't have all the answers, no? So sasabihin ko lang yung alam ko. So it's really about, the PDP. So where for this PDP, we want to make sure that they have the resources to be able to, to be able to get this health care. Okay, that's one. And these resources will come by way of job creation. And I'd like to show you, this is the 8-point socioeconomic agenda of the president. That the first 3 is really about addressing the immediate concerns of inflation yan. The second row is about the scarring, the learning losses, yung the health system weaknesses that we have seen, and also the weaknesses in our social protection system. So again, i-address siya kaagad. And then sound macroeconomic fundamentals. As you know, noong end of 2019, our debt to GDP ratio was at 39.1%. Yan. Ngayon, nasa 62%. Yan. So it's really because of that COVID response. So that's how, that's how much we had to spend, kasi nga, hindi talaga tayo ganun ka-prepared dito. And then over the medium term, It's really about creating more jobs, quality jobs, and the green jobs. So this is actually yung ano, and of course the bedrock na sinasabi namin, public order and safety, peace and security, and then the other side is on competition and bureaucratic efficiency. Now, we have actually translated this already into the PDP strategic framework, the PDP 2023 to 2028. Again, two broad outcomes that we want, but always centered on the individual and the family. So it's really about economic transformation for a prosperous, inclusive, and resilient society. We have two-pronged strategies. One is we develop the capabilities of individuals and families and then protect these capabilities. So we're talking about yung mga, the health, the education, and these livable communities. Kasi human capital and social development. Oh, marami na rin akong sinasabi. Next, we need to increase the income earning ability. So it's actually not enough that you finish your K-12. Kailangan ituloy mo pa into training and skills development. And then the employment facilitation, just to make sure na, updated pa ang iyong skills. And then protect the purchasing power by ensuring food security, and then, again, the social protection. And then on the other hand, it's really about transforming our production processes so that they can generate more jobs, quality jobs, and also competitive products. Pag sinabi namin competitive products, ito yung quality pero affordable. Yon. So, hindi ka na bibili sa yon. So, we're talking about modernizing agriculture and agribusiness, revitalizing industry, and reinvigorating services. Doon sa industry, ang focus is on manufacturing. Doon sa services, ang focus would be tourism, the creative industry, and then the business process management. And itong klaseng transformation na to will come by way of advancing the R&D, okay, the technology, development and adoption, and innovation. Yusek, dapat andyan yan. And then we also need to enhance inter-industry linkages. That's also one transformation that we hope to be able to effect. And promoting trade and investments, kasi sa natin dadalhin yung mga produkto, no? So kailangan natin i-promote yung trade and investments. And of course, yung bedrock na naman, macroeconomic stability, infrastructure, regulatory efficiency, and then yung ating political stability, and of course, yung ating climate action and disaster resilience. So, just to wrap up, yan. Papunta na tayo sa wrapping up. Hindi pa ito yung end. Tatlo. Yeah, anyway, so this is actually what we have figured in mga early stages of the pandemic. Now, what is this new normal about? So we think that it's about physical distancing. Again, using face covering, okay? Strict hygiene and sanitation standards, and then let's have more outdoor than indoor activities. Sporadic granular lockdowns will still be possible. And then, yun ang isang problema. COVID threat will be foremost in the mindset of individuals. So when they hear of other health threats, monkeypox, uy, baka parang COVID na naman yan. Mga ganyan tipo. Yan. So how do we want to transform this? We want a healthy and resilient Philippines. We want individuals na kesa magre-restrict tayo, we want the individuals themselves be able to observe these proper public health standards, protect themselves and the people around them. We want them to observe healthy lifestyle and an active health-seeking behavior. And then, sporadic lockdowns, we want individuals who are prepared to take on non-pharmaceutical interventions when needed, especially if it's to counter a novel pandemic. Di pa natin masyadong alam eh. So, ano muna tayo? Tayo muna. And then, individuals keep themselves informed of possible health threats and how to protect themselves. And then, instead of, mga regulation na naman, it's really about residents and business owners and government maintaining proper ventilation and environmental quality. Now, these ones will not happen as a matter of course. Okay? Ito na papasok yung, what should government do? Well, first of all, we need to provide the proper information, the proper health guidance. Anong klaseng health guidance? So again, dito na naman papasok si research. We also need guidelines on the safe settings, kasama yun sa workplace, kasama yun sa schools, kasama yun sa malls, kasama yun sa hotels, and also on environmental quality. We need biosurveillance capacity. In other countries, di ba nakikita nila sa ano sa sewerage ganyan. Here in the Philippines, we do regular checks ng ating yung sa mga ano sa sea. It is really for the red tide monitoring, di ba? Regular tayo nagko-conduct. Kaya alam natin, dito sa Bataan, may ano na naman ganyan. We need this kind of biosurveillance activity being done pertaining to health concerns. And so we also need, gusto natin sila magkaroon ng active health-seeking behavior, they need to have access to healthcare. Okay? And also access to the proper medical tools, diagnostics, prophylaxis, treatment, even the vaccine, the supply of PPEs, and of course, this will result from science, technology, and innovation. I think one of the things that we have learned here as well is we need to have our own capacity to develop this. No? Kasi pwede kasing parang magkanya-kanya lahat eh. Di ba? Parang kami muna bago kayo. So dapat meron din tayo. Yan. And then of course, on the side of the economy naman, it's about business and service continuity, financial service, savings, healthcare financing, and then yung social protection. And then for now, it's also about addressing the long-term scarring effects. So again, very broad recommendations. Number one, we really need to increase health spending. Okay? We will be also closely monitoring the implementation of the devolution transition plans. As you know, health is one of those that will be affected, healthcare. And then yung effective and efficient use of resources. We think that there should be more resources dedicated also to health technology assessment. Going forward, there will be a number of this mga health technologies na ito. Yon. So, dapat mabilis din tayong mag-assess. No? And then, of course, yung prioritizing expenditure for UHC, expanding the coverage, the benefit packages, strengthening the primary care, okay? Yung supply and the distribution of our human resources for health, of course, the health promotion. Ito ang aming pet peeve ulit. The PhilHealth's data management, IT system, and human resources, they really need to be improved. Continuous regular consultations with stakeholders, and then to do with the way PhilHealth configures its packages and yung payment system also need to change actually. And then, of course, the health data availability, like, the numbers that I showed you, 2017, mga ganyan, and those are the latest. So we need to improve health data availability and quality, both at the national and local levels. So many things that we need to do. Pero kakayanin natin. Let's just take it pa isa-isa, paunti-unti, and hopefully we get there. We achieve progress, and hopefully we get to the future that we want. Thank you very much.
Maraming salamat, Yusek Edilion. Finally, we will now discuss the role of health research in national recovery and resilience, its future directions, in responding to current challenges. Professor Guevara, please.
First of all, I would like to greet the 4 agencies of the Philippine National Health Research System, the Department of Science and Technology, the Department of Health, the Commission on Higher Education, and the National Institutes of Health. Warm greetings to our host, RDJC Sikat, of course, our speakers, Chairman Nograles, Yusek Rose, Director Eva, the different regional directors of the Department of Science and Technology. Shout out to Dr. Jimmy, who is not here with us today. Of course, members of the Philippine Council for Health Research and Development, our dear researchers, our viewers from the Zoom, ladies and gentlemen, magandang agham po sa ating lahat. I'm very happy to be joining the DOST family today after more than a month of resting. It's been so good. Listening to Yusek Rose's presentation, I would like to say that that particular slide on SDG target 3.3, everything that you said there, lahat yon merong research na ginagawa ang DOST. So, I'm very happy na lahat ng kailangan ay nasasagot naman. So let me now go to my talk. The COVID-19 pandemic has emphasized the weaknesses and gaps in our national health system. And the response of the government showed the importance of health research outputs during a pandemic. In the NDRRMC, DOST is the vice chair for disaster prevention and mitigation. In the same manner, R&D in health plays a significant role in national recovery and resilience. Today, I will talk about DOST's investments in science, technology, and innovation, or STI. Then I will show some examples of R&D outputs that were used during the pandemic and potential R&D outputs that will contribute to the recovery and resilience of the health sector. I will then discuss the next steps for health research in responding to challenges and building back better by sector, the academe, the government, and the industry. 25% of the DOST's budget is devoted to science and technology, human resource development. DOST has over 53,000 scholars with over 10,000 MS and PhD scholars. From producing 17 MS and PhD graduates in 2008, DOST has been producing 400 to 500 MS and PhD graduates per year in science and engineering since 2015. DOST also offers foreign graduate scholarships and fellowships in fields that are not locally available but identified in the Harmonized National R&D Agenda, or HNRDA. In order to strengthen the capability and capacity of institutions to undertake research, DOST has supported the establishment of R&D facilities, centers, and laboratories all over the country. About half of the investment went to DOST Research and Development Institutes, and the other half went to state universities and colleges and higher education institutions. These facilities also provide industries and emerging sectors with the needed boost in advancing their products and services. So all of these are shared facilities. To strengthen the Philippine STI ecosystem, the Harmonized National R&D Agenda 2017 to 2022 was crafted to ensure that the results of S&T endeavors are utilized in areas of maximum economic and social benefit for the people. HNRDA 2022 to 2028 was submitted last June and will be implemented during the current administration. Health research is part of the HNRDA. To support the R&D activities of research institutions, the DOST Grant in Aid program provides funding for the implementation of programs and projects identified in the NURA and the HNRDA. As provided in Republic Act 10055, or the Technology Transfer Act of 2009, successful transfer of government-funded R&D results depend on the availability of intellectual property or IP policies that will aid in the proper management of intellectual property. DOST's 6 IP policies cover data sharing, fairness opinion, technology transfer protocol, IP management, and sharing of royalty and technology fee between the researcher and the institute. So for those universities who still do not have IP policies, kopyahin na lang ninyo yung nasa DOST. In summary, DOST's investment in STI include human resources, R&D agenda, technology transfer policies, R&D infrastructure, and R&D funding. My next topic covers examples of R&D outputs that contribute to the recovery and resilience of the health sector. Since the COVID-19 outbreak last March 2020, research outputs were repurposed to combat COVID-19. A COVID-19 RT-PCR detection kit was developed from the same technology that was for a dengue detector. Faster, a monitoring platform for dengue, typhoid fever, and measles was converted to COVID-19 platform to help our decision makers. It has been adopted by DOH and local government units. The DOST funded studies in determining the antiviral effects of virgin coconut oil, or VCO, through in vitro experiments. The results show that VCO decreased coronavirus count by 60 to 90% at low viral load. DOST also funded a study to determine whether Lagundi can provide symptomatic relief for COVID-19 patients. The results were also positive. DOST supported digital and artificial intelligence integrated programs such as digital histologic image analysis software for Hirschsprung's disease, the AI-powered reading of chest X-rays in the diagnosis of COVID-19 pneumonia, and the AI-driven integration of genomic ultrasound, serum biomarkers, and clinical data for early diagnosis of liver cancer. The Lisa robot, a service assistant robot that features long-range indoor teleoperation through Wi-Fi connectivity, helped maintain contactless medical service in hospitals. And the Power app is a remote screening and early detection of children with mobility impairment. The DOST Food and Nutrition Research Institute, or FNRI, has long invested in digital warehousing and integrated repository systems for the National Nutrition Survey and genomics studies. Thus, more researchers can now mine the data of FNRI. These are just a few examples of health R&D that can contribute to the recovery and resilience of the health sector. Now, what are the ways forward for health research translation? I divided this discussion into 3 parts: for the academe, including the research and development institutes, or RDIs, for the government, and for industry. RDIs, SUCs, and HEIs need to implement the NURA and the HNRDA to ensure usefulness of R&D outputs. Huwag na po tayong maghula-hula kung anong gagawing R&D. Let us depend on the HNRDA and the NURA. Along the same vein, it would be best if academic requirements such as thesis and dissertations could also be aligned with the NURA and the HNRDA. The administrators of RDIs and academic institutions should create and implement intellectual property policies that are conducive to technology transfer. Universities in the private sector should build trust to allow the porous interaction between them in technology know-how, in technology, in know-how, needs assessment, and repurposing technologies to match the market. Mahilig po kasing mag-research sa academe, minsan wala namang use yung output. Makinig po tayo sa market, and the best way to do that is to be friends with industry. Now, researchers should have a clear technology path from laboratory to market. Maraming nagsasabi ng mga basic researchers, paano naman kami? Still, there should be a clear technology path to market. Even if the output of the research for basic research is a publication, dapat i-publish. Sara, para later on, pwede talaga magkaroon ng technology transfer to the applied researchers. So, let me give you some examples of research translation. The University of the Philippines, Manila is home of world-class R&D experts and inventors such as Dr. Destura and Dr. Fernandez Marcelo. They developed products such as the Gen Amplify COVID-19 test kit, a low-cost and rapid test, and FDA approved, and the RX box for remote health diagnosis have reached the intended users through the sheer determination of the researchers. Mahirap pong maghanap ng ganyang klaseng researcher. Ang kulit po ng dalawang yan. But they were able to get their product to the intended users. UP Manila has a vast network of linkages and partnerships with industry, government, academic institutions, both here and abroad, making it a model research university that is capable of supporting multiple research programs from inception to technology transfer. Now, I will go to the government's role in the way forward. First of all, we need appropriate levels of funding for health research. During the pandemic, we saw the government make very, very good decisions in funding quick gratification projects, like the WHO Solidarity Trial. It took us only 1 week to get 300 million from DBM. The Medical Textile Testing Facility of DOST PTRI, it took only 2 weeks to get 77 million from DBM because the results were clearly needed for the pandemic. But research has a long gestation period. We need long-term investment in R&D. We also need a regulatory sandbox for innovative technologies that need to be set up. We are fortunate that the Food and Drug Administration is open-minded and has granted permissions for some DOST-funded innovative health technologies to be used. The government needs to facilitate the granting of incentives to technology transfer from government-funded R&D to encourage the private sector to adopt the technology and manufacture the product. This ensures that investments in R&D will not go to waste. Talking to those doing research here, did you know that the Department of Trade and Industry Board of Investment in the IPP, this is the Investment Priority Plan, they have included commercialization of DOST-funded research. Meaning to say, if a company adopts your technology, they get 6 years income tax holiday. So, this way, research will not go to waste. Kasi kailangan talaga na private sector mag-adapt at mag-manufacture. Hindi trabaho ng university yan. In an ideal world, the adoption of technologies by mandated government agencies is a no-brainer. But many of our government agencies are import-dependent. Even the Republic Act 9184's provision on largest single completed contract works against the adoption of local technologies. I only hope that the Philippine Innovation Act, andito naman si Yusek Rose, and the Innovative Startup Act will cure this problem. Meaning to say, startups should be allowed to sell their products to the government. Lastly, I appeal to legislators to pass the Science for Change Program Bill and the Virology and Vaccine Institute of the Philippines or VIP bill. Kailangan po natin to in the long run. Together with the 2022 to 2028 HNRDA, the 20-year long-term R&D plan was included in the Medium-Term Expenditure Program or MTEP submitted by DOST to DBM. We should all be preparing for the future of R&D in the country through continuous lobbying for Science for Change program legislation. And even if the S4CP bill is not passed, having a medium and long-term R&D plan with financial requirement ensures continuity of R&D programs and projects. Diyan po takot na takot yung mga researchers kasi pag hindi na ipasa yung Science for Change program bill, paano na yung long-term projects? Well, we do it by money or by budget. The Science for Change program aims to reverse the disparity in R&D funding among regions and the lack of R&D in the private sector. The more people and organizations are involved in R&D, the better our chances in translating health research. The Virology and Vaccine Institute of the Philippines, or VIP, is a long-term solution to the country's inability to develop and manufacture vaccines for humans, plants, and animals. While waiting for the VIP to be passed, DOST has started 8 projects on virology and vaccine development, infrastructure development, and engagement of balik scientists and S&T fellows. Hindi lang po drawing yung VIP. It has already received a funding of 1.5 billion pesos last year and this year. So kahit di matuloy yung batas, the project will continue. Di naman bawal mangarap, ano? An example of ideal utilization of R&D is the expedited FDA and HTAC approval and DOH and Red Cross procurement of the FDA-approved local COVID-19 test kit. Kung ginawa po natin yan noong 2020, ang laki pong mura ang inabot natin sa pagbili ng test kits. Another example would be the inclusion of the total axis knee replacement system in the PhilHealth coverage. To date, there are more than 900 total axis knee replacement surgeries done nationwide. The technology is Philippine FDA approved with 2 patents in the US, also received notices of allowance from EU, China, and Japan. No-brainer, di po ba? Sana maisama na siya sa PhilHealth. Another example, ideal na naman to, no? Inclusion of Tuklas Lunas drugs and herbal drugs in the Philippine National Formulary. Pangarap po talaga ito. This is the way into the future, but you know, when I dream about this, it makes me very happy. Wouldn't it be wonderful if FDA and HTAC approved biomedical devices that are locally manufactured and deployed in all government hospitals? Hindi naman masamang mangarap, di ba? Pero pag nangyari yan, bababa talaga yung cost ng healthcare sa Philippines. Yung sinasabi kanina ni Yusek Rose, ma-achieve talaga. But all of these examples of ideal utilization of R&D require trust and cooperation of mandated agencies in DOST and in our researchers. Pag na-achieve po natin yan, ma-achieve po talaga natin yung universal healthcare. And lastly, for industry, they play a big role in the way forward. Local pharmaceutical companies are mostly manufacturing and assembly. DOST has taken the risk of investing in basic research and will also invest in phase 1 clinical trial of Tuklas Lunas products. Tama ba, Paul? Sabi ninyo, no? Mag-i-invest ang PCHRD sa phase 1 clinical trial ng Tuklas Lunas. Correct? Okay. However, I challenge the industry to invest in phase 2 and phase 3 clinical trials of Tuklas Lunas products, including drugs against AMR. This is a global problem, and Tuklas Lunas has several drug candidates. I have seen the portfolio of our Tuklas Lunas centers, and the future looks really good. But the government can only take it up to phase 1. Phase 2, we really need industry to kick in. Of course, startups can also commercialize Tuklas Lunas products, and other R&D outputs. It would also be nice if local manufacturing companies can produce biomedical equipment from DOST-funded R&D for all DOH hospitals and private hospitals. Building trust between the researchers and the private sector is key to this way forward. Libre namang mangarap. Ideally, pharmaceutical companies and DOST collaborate in clinical trials of Tuklas Luna's herbal drugs and drugs. It is very good that out of the 28 Tuklas Luna centers, 5 are pharmaceutical companies. I can already predict how big these forward-looking companies will be in the future. Sorry na lang yung mga hindi nag-i-invest sa R&D. The Vaccine Development and Manufacturing Roadmap provides a holistic overview of the possible activities and pathways for a vaccine self-reliant Philippines in the face of future pandemics. The role of the private sector in this roadmap is huge. The private sector, unfortunately, is risk-averse. Takot po talaga sila sa risk. I hope that the private sector would trust the de-risking efforts of DOST through R&D and make the innovative decision of being part of the STI landscape as the technology adopter and diffuser of health products and services from R&D. In conclusion, health research translation will only be possible with the cooperation, collaboration, co-funding, and trust among the researchers from the RDIs, SUCs, HEIs, the government agencies, and the private sector. Pag wala po lahat ng mga components na yon, hindi po aandar ang ating way forward. Lastly, I would like to congratulate DOST Region 3, DOST PCHRD, and all the attendees today in the 15th PNHRS celebration and affirming your commitment to health research translation. Magandang agham po sa ating lahat.
Let us all give our resource speakers another warm round of applause. So before we go into the question and answer forum, let me reiterate the highlights of this discussion. Chair Carlo provided some insights on lessons learned that will guide us in strengthening health system governance. Also, an important requirement in moving forward is placing appropriate infrastructure and policies, including the necessary financial logistics, and this USEC Edilion enlightened us as well. As the saying goes, the solution to a problem often becomes the seed to another problem. Professor Guevara was emphatic in reminding us of the importance to persevere in our work for quality and relevant health research. With that, we now proceed to the open forum. We are allowed to entertain 2 questions, okay? Which means one for Prof. Edilion and one for Prof. Guevara from our live audience, and 2 questions from our online participants. Kindly limit your question to accommodate the others. And I am very sure Professor Guevara and Yusek Adilion have experienced already ambush question interview. So this will probably be later, though. So the floor is now open for questions from our participants here at the Grand Ballroom. Please proceed to the microphone in front, no? And state your name and institution, and to whom your question is addressed. Thank you.
Dr. Adilion. I'm Dr. Helen Madamba from Vicente Soto Memorial Medical Center. And I actually, for both of you, I really enjoyed your lectures. Parang makagive hope, no, to those who are listening. And I particularly want to comment on the ambition for the Filipino that you mentioned. I belong to a hospital and we implement, healthcare programs, and PhilHealth is one of the major funders of covering hospital costs. But with the universal healthcare, the funding, as I understand, it will be now, it's a devolved to the local governments. And my question is there some sort of orientation or training for local chief executives on how to maximize utilization of the health fund for universal health care so that they will also prioritize preventive and community medicine on top of curative support and hospital development? Thank you.
Hello. Okay. Yeah, thank you. Thank you very much for the question. My answer is actually in two parts. First, over the long term, then, as you know, the implementation of the universal healthcare will be done in phases. No? In fact, the first phase was only supposed to have a dozen lang dapat na LGUs, but because of the COVID, marami nag-volunteer yon. Pero again, ano pa rin, in terms of coverage and in terms of the services. And at every point in time, there will be an examination, an assessment that will be done so that, if I'm not mistaken, the timeline is mga 3 or 4 years bago natin ma-perfect yung system. Yeah, kasi ang daming ayusin. This will be the first time we'll have that, yung mga referral system, yung mga network for care. So it's, and then of course you still have the local government code to contend with. And for each of the phases, there will be that orientation that you're talking about, no? For those who are participating in that particular phase. And so, and of course, as we transition to the full implementation of the universal healthcare, magkakaroon din nun. But the second one is, and this one, I hope wala mag-catch na media dito, no? This is something that the President actually wants another look talaga, another long and close look, and try to see if it is responsive actually to our problems, the weaknesses of the healthcare system. So I would say that we should actually wait for a few more months for this to be finalized. But rest assured that yes, there will be that orientation, there will be that training, the capacity building. Thank you.
Any other question? Thank you.
Good morning, I'm Dr. Unity Cortez from Ilocos Training Regional Medical Center and part of the Region 1 Health Research Development Consortium. My question is, NED talks about the development, the plan. DOST talks about evidence supporting this. My question is, insofar as health or evidence translated into a technology, how much does the researcher or the institution get from the support of the national government in terms of distribution, commercialization, and perhaps export of this technology that originates in the Philippines, which I believe will again be part of sustaining health recovery and of course health system within the Philippines, because technology supports national gross domestic product. So my big question is, since this is a continuum of support to researcher, may I know because I have experienced, I know some of the researchers have difficulty using their technology. Um, if I may quote, I am a friend of Dr. Raul Destura, and this is something that he has experienced. There are a lot of challenges bringing the technology in the grassroots. So I want to know, are there any incentivization or government support insofar as these are concerned? Thank you, ma'am.
That's a very good question. And you chose the right example. Kung merong researcher na na-experience lahat ng pagdurusa at paghihirap, ay si Dr. Raul Destura yan. Una, nung nag-attempt siyang maging spin-off company, it took the UP Board of Regents 7 months to decide. Samantala, nasa batas yun na pwedeng mag-spin-off ng technology ang isang researcher. So yung part na yon, ang may responsibility nun is the university or the Research and Development Institute. Kaya nga kanina, in-emphasize natin, kailangan talaga na merong intellectual property policies. Kunyari sa DOST, nakalagay dun sa IP policies niya na a researcher may take 2 years off from the work to do a spin-off. Yung university ba ninyo may nakasulat na ganon? So those are things to think about. Now, in terms of government support, gagamitin ko rin ulit na example si Dr. Destura. 7 years yung support dun sa research niya. Magmula nung gumawa siya ng dengue kit. Tapos, sabi niya sa akin nung March 2020, sabi niya, you know, it will take us 45 days to develop the COVID-19 RT-PCR test kit because the Chinese already produced the full genome sequence of the SARS-CoV-2 virus. Sabi ko, wow! Pagkasabi niya nun sa akin, tinawagan ko si Dr. Montoya. Jimmy, magkanong pera ang kailangan para yung ide-develop ni Dr. Destura ay mailalabas natin. And to that end, we supported the entire process, pati yung kanyang field validation, because that's the most expensive part of bringing out the technology. I think the OST spent 57 million on that one. Pero yung hindi kami makatulong ng todo-todo, yung pagdating na dun sa FDA approval. We can only use back channels to request FDA to hasten the process. And then, yung pagbili ng DBM dun sa test kits, kasi kailangan din na sabihin ng DBM procurement service na, okay, yung buong bansa, bibilhin na yung product ni Dr. Destura. But then, DBM PS went on investigating kung ilang percent ang imported parts, etc. You know, nawala yung essence ng test kit. So as I mentioned in my talk, the mandated agencies need to understand how to procure these technologies. So those are the other parts of the government. But from the DOST part, meron ang DOST ng tulong for every stage of the research until it reaches the intended market. So for example, in the Innovative Startup Act, meron na tayong Startup Grant Fund na pag kailangan ng researcher ng further research, may pera para magawa yon, para mag-swak sa market yung kanyang product. Tapos ang DTI, nagtayo na rin siya ng fund para kung kailangan ng mag-commercialize ng researcher, meron din siyang kukunan na pondo. So, bagong development pa ho to. So, learning pa rin po yung DTI, DOST, at saka yung DICT na magpondo ng private companies na startups. But we're getting there. So, my short answer to your question is, we have already outlined the entire activity of the researcher from inception, idea, all the way to market. And we have made sure that every step of the way, there is government support.
Maraming salamat sa mga speakers. I haven't received any question from our online audience. So we can now, that ends our question and answer forum. And for now, may I request Professor Eva Maria Cuchonco de la Paz, the Executive Director of UP Manila, National Institute of Health, and Director Julius Cesar V. Sicat, to come up on stage to award the certificates to our resource speaker. So allow me to read the citation for all of our speakers. In grateful recognition of our speakers' contribution to today's occasion, the Philippine National Health Research System and the Central Luzon Health Research and Development Consortium award the Certificate of Appreciation to Attorney Carlo Alexei Nograles, USEC Rosemary G. Adilion, and Dr. Rowena Cristina L. Guevara for sharing their insights and knowledge as resource speakers during the 15th PNHRS Week celebration held on August 8 to 12, 2002 at the Clark Marriott Hotel. Given this 12th day of August at Clark Freeport Zone, Pampanga, signed Dr. Jaime C. Montoya, Lead Coordinator, PNHRS, and Executive Director, PCHRD, and Dr. Julius Cesar V. Sicat, Chair, CLHRDC, and Regional Director, DOST3. Let's give them a warm applause, please. So once again, thank you very much to our speakers. Thank you very much, USEC Adilion. Thank you very much, Professor Guevara. So before we officially end the program this morning, may we request everyone to please answer our evaluation form by clicking the link in the chat box or by going to the URL or scanning the QR code flash on your screen right now. Only participants who have successfully submitted their accomplished evaluation forms will be given an electronic copy of their certificate of participation. So please take note of that. Okay, again, another reminder. Please make sure to input your name and email address correctly. The e-certificates will be sent to your emails within 10 working days after the program. If you didn't receive your email certificate after 10 working days, please email your complete name together with a proof of successful submission of the accomplished evaluation form to dost3dsmeeting@gmail.com. Also, please be informed that we will only accept evaluation until it's past 10, so most probably until 11 today, okay? So again, please submit your evaluation until 11 a.m. today. So my dear colleagues, that officially ends our plenary discussion. We hope that from our experiences with the pandemic and the natural disasters, and listening also to the experiences of our speakers, the direction to national recovery will shift to a more resilient Philippines. It is my pleasure to moderate this host this session. Please stay for the closing ceremonies that will begin right after this. This is Dr. Bobby Pagulayan, now signing off. Thank you.
my tears I drown, but I never let it get me down. So when negativity surrounds, I know someday it'll all turn around, because all my life I've been waiting for, I've been praying for the people to say that we don't wanna fight no more. There'll be no more wars, and our children will play one day, one day, one day, one day, one day.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. While taking some social highs to our colleagues, the closing ceremony will start at 10:15. Thank you very much.
Yeah. Magandang umaga pong muli. May mga products po tayong nandyan sa labas, sa likod, sa bandang left side po, facing the exits. May mga Pampanga products po na for sale. Kung sakasakali yung ating mga participants coming from the different regions, gustong bumili ng mga pasalubong pauwi, nandyan po yung tatlong mga setup cooperators namin selling some of their products. Maraming salamat po.
We all knew when they feed on the souls of the innocent, blood drenched pavement. Keep on moving, though the water stay raging. In this space, you can lose your way. In my job, you crazy, but don't let it face you, no way, no way. Sometimes in my tears I drown, but I never let it get me down. So when negativity surrounds, I know someday it'll all turn around, because all my life I've been waiting for, I've been praying for the people to say that we don't wanna fight no more. There'll be no more. Alright. Honey came in and she got me red-handed, creepy with the girl next door. Picture this, we were both butt naked, banging on the bathroom floor. How could I forget that I had given her an extra key? All this time she was standing there, she never took her eyes off me.
Oh, you can give your woman access to your villa. Just a son of weakness, all the locks in on your pillar. You better watch your back before she turn into a killer. This is the situation that you call the winner. To be a true player, you have to know how to play. If she say a night, can't you miss a syllable? Never admit to a word that she say. And she claim a you tell her, baby, no way.
But she caught me on the counter, saw me banging on the sofa. I even had her in the shower. She even caught me on camera. She saw the marks on my shoulder. Heard the words that I told her. Heard the screams that I louder. She stayed until it was over.
And she was saying she really never like the mix. I never used to see her make the chick a low flex. As funny as a game, you in the complex. Seeing is believing, so you better change your specs. You know she a go bring away my things up on the past. All the little evidence, you better not the mass. Quick for your hands up, no off it up. But if she back a run, you know you better run fast.
But she caught me on the counter. Saw me banging on the sofa. I even had her in the shower. She even caught me on camera. She saw the marks on my shoulder. Heard the words that I told her. Heard the screams that I had her. She stayed until it was over. I've been listening to your reason, it makes no sense at all. You could tell her that I'm sorry for the pain that I've caused. You may think that you're a player, but you're completely lost. My friend. Honey came in and she got me red-handed, creepy with the girl next door. Picture this, we were both butt naked, banging on the bathroom floor. How could I forget that I had given her an extra key? All this time she was standing there, she never took her eyes off me.
tayo. Alright, magandang umaga po sa inyong lahat. We will now begin our closing and awarding ceremonies. Maya pa abak po. Kaya kayungan, and we will now begin our closing and awarding ceremonies. This is the most exciting and awaited part of this week's celebration as we award and give recognition to our winners. First off, let's recap the winners of the oral research paper presentation and a 3-minute pitch to policymakers competition. The oral research paper presentation aims to provide a platform for the dissemination and sharing of selected health research outputs conducted by both professional and student researchers. The PNHRS holds the competition yearly as part of the PNHRS Week. The winners for the professional category are as follows. The first place is from Region 6, Miss Adrienne Marie Bugayong Hanagap of the University of the Philippines, Visayas. TABI and HMG2 interaction and potential role in adipogenesis. The second place is from Region 1, Miss Sarah Jane Tan of Mariano Marcos Memorial Hospital and Medical Center, serologic SARS-CoV-2 antibody level and factors affecting its production after COVID-19 vaccination among employees of MMMHMC. And the third place is from Region 10, Mr. Mark Lloyd Dapar of Central Mindanao University, quantitative pharmacological documentation and molecular confirmation of medicinal plants used by Monobo tribe of Agusan del Sur, Philippines. For the student category, the first place is from Region 6, Miss Princess Jewel Guzman of Colegio San Agustin, Bacolod, practices and challenges of antimicrobial stewardship among pharmacies in selected community and hospital pharmacies in Bacolod City. Second place is from Region 5, Miss Maidel Joyce Castro of Bicol University. CodeFirm, a web browser plugin for COVID-19 vaccine false information detection. And the third place is from Caraga, Miss Hazel Faith Pelpinosas of Caraga State University, a type of CEIR model with a large set of undetected, asymptomatic, with short and long-term COVID-19 dynamics to better comprehend vaccination, immunity, and treatment. Palakpakan po natin ang ating mga winners. We go now with a minute pitch to policymakers competition, highlighting the importance of translating research results into policy and practice. The 3-minute pitch to policymakers competition was held last August 10, which featured 9 online presentations from health researchers across the country. This year's champion is Dr. Marjorie Nolasco of Dr. Paulino J. Garcia Memorial Research and Medical Center, representing Region 3. Second place winner is Professor Jennifer Luyon of the Cagayan State University, Andrews Campus, representing Region 2. And the third place is awarded to Dr. Benneth Mercado of the Brokenshire College of Soxargen Incorporated, representing Region 12. Finally, for the special award, Mr. John Michael Gabriel Zaragoza of the Corazon Locsin Montelibano Memorial Regional Hospital, representing Region 6, bagged the People's Choice Award. Congratulations to all our winners. We now proceed with the awarding of Philippine Health Research Ethics Board, PHREB accredited research ethics committees. Let's watch this video.
Welcome to the virtual awarding ceremony of 2022 FREB Accredited Research Ethics Committee. To give a brief introduction, the Philippine Health Research Ethics Board is the national policy-making body in health and health-related research ethics in the Philippines. FREB ensures adherence to the universal ethical principles for the protection and promotion of the dignity of research participants. As part of its mandate, the FREB, through its Committee on Standards and Accreditation, developed a system of accreditation which ensures that research ethics committees in the country are functional, follow the international standards, and uphold the scientific and ethical review of research protocols at all times. Being a FREB-accredited REC involves a lot of responsibilities, commitment, and hard work. With this, a well-deserved recognition is given to RECs who complied with the accreditation standards of FREB. For this year, a total of 17 research ethics committees will be awarded with levels 1, 2, or 3 accreditation. They are composed of hospitals, medical centers, research and development consortia, and academic institutions that received their accreditation from March 8, 2022 to August 2, 2022. Before we present the awardees, please allow me to read the citation in the certificate. The Philippine National Health Research System and Philippine Health Research Ethics Board award this certificate of accreditation to the REC for fulfilling all the FREB requirements as Level 1, 2, or 3 Research Ethics Committee, with all obligations and privileges thereunto accorded. Given this 12th day of August 2022 at Clark Marriott Hotel, Clark, Pampanga. Signed, Dr. Sonia E. Bongala, CSA Chair, Dr. Leonardo D. De Castro, FREB Chair, and Dr. Jaime C. Montoya, Executive Director 3, DOST, PCHRD. Level 1 Accreditation Awardees. Norma College's Research Ethics Committee. Hospital ng Makati Research Ethics Board. Northern Mindanao Medical Center Research Ethics Board. University of the Philippines College of Home Economics Research Ethics Committee. University of Santo Tomas Graduate School Research Ethics Committee. Level 2 Accreditation Awardees. Region 1 Health Research and Development Consortium Research Ethics Committee. University of Santo Tomas College of Rehabilitation Sciences Ethics Review Committee. Holy Angel University Institutional Review Board. Western Visayas Medical Center Research Ethics Review Committee. Dr. Paulino J. Garcia Memorial Research and Medical Center Institutional Review Board. Level 3 Accreditation Awardees. Metro Davao Medical and Research Center Incorporated and the Riverview Medical Center Incorporated Cluster Research Ethics Review Committee. Jose Arias Memorial Medical Center Institutional Review Board. Cebu Doctors University Hospital Research Ethics Committee. Batangas Medical Center Research Ethics Review Committee. St. Cabrini Medical Center Asian Eye Institute Ethics Review Committee. Vicente Soto Memorial Medical Center Research Ethics Committee. Bawang Center for Health Development Joint Research Ethics Committee. On behalf of the FREB Chair, Dr. Leonardo De Castro, FREB CSA Chair, Dr. Sonia Bongala, and DOST PCHRD Executive Director, Dr. Jaime Montoya, congratulations. The research ethics committees play a vital and crucial role as we advance the health research efforts in the country. Their existence helps ensure that the rights and welfare of human participants are prioritized and protected. With this, we are certain that FREB will continue with its mandate to monitor and evaluate the performance of RECs in the country. Thank you and stay well.
Okay, salamat po. We now proceed with the oral research paper competition for the grantees of the DOST PCHRD undergraduate thesis grant in natural products. One of the activities in this year's celebration is the oral research paper presentation competition for the grantees of the DOST PCHRD undergraduate thesis grant in natural products. This competition, conducted last August 9, 2022, aims to showcase and recognize the selected grantees' innovative work on natural products. All the thesis projects funded under the 2019 and 2021 run of the DOST PCHRD undergraduate thesis grant in natural products were included in the shortlisting process. The top 6 grantees with the highest average scores from the technical evaluators are selected to present their completed studies in this year's competition. The prizes for the top 3 winners are as follows. Top 1 will receive 30,000 pesos. 20,000 pesos goes to the student and 10,000 pesos for the advisor. Top 2 will receive 22,000 pesos, 15,000 for the student, and 7,000 for the advisor. Top 3 will receive 15,000 pesos, 10,000 goes to the student, and 5,000 for the advisor. Other finalists will receive 5,000 pesos each. The top 3 winners will also be awarded with certificates of recognition. Without further ado, let us present the top 3 winners for this year's competition. The third placer is Mr. Gerson Angelo Armesin from Region 7. Mr. Amersin is from Veles College, Philippines in Cebu. He presented his completed study entitled In Vivo Assessment of Antimicrobial Effect of Mango Peels and Seed Extract and Lactobacillus delbrueckii on Streptococcus pyogenesis and Shigella boydii inoculated in albino mice. Congratulations, Mr. Amersin. You and your advisor will receive a cash prize amounting to 15,000 pesos and a certificate of recognition. Let me read the citation for the certificate of recognition. Philippine National Health Research System, CHLDC, present the certificate of recognition to Mr. Gerson Angelo Amersin
for winning third place in the oral research paper competition for the grantees of the DOST PCHRD undergraduate thesis grant in natural products during the 15th Philippine National Health Research System Week celebration held on August 9, 2022, given this 12th day of August 2022 at Clark Marriott Hotel, Clark Pre-Port Zone, Mabalacat, Pampanga. Signed, Dr. Jaime C. Montoya, Lead Coordinator, PNHRS, and Executive Director 3, PCHRD, and Dr. Julio Cesar Visicat, Regional Director, DOST 3, and Chair, CLHRD. Congratulations po.
Now, the second place goes to Mr. Wenzel E. Perian from Region 9. Mr. Perian is from Western Mindanao State University in Zamboanga. He presented his completed study entitled Anti-Tumor and Anti-Geogenic Activities of Crude Methanolic Seaweed Extract of Solaria robusta, Kailin, 1932. Congratulations, Mr. Perian. You and your advisor will receive a cash prize amounting to 22,000 pesos and a certificate of recognition. Let me read the citation for the certificate of recognition.
Okay, the PNHRS, LHRDC present this certificate of recognition to Mr. Wenzel E. Perian for winning second place in the oral research paper competition for the grantees of the DOST PCHRD undergraduate thesis grant in natural products during the 15th Philippine National Health Research System Week celebration held on August 9, 2022, given this 12th day of August 2022 at Clark Marriott Hotel, City of Mabalacat, Pampanga. Signed, Dr. Jaime C. Montoya and Dr. Julio Cesar Visicat. Congratulations po.
Our first place for this year's competition goes to Mr. Jason C. Alcano from Region 10. Mr. Alcano is from Central Mindanao University in Bukidnon. His winning entry is entitled Exploring the Philippine Endemic Hornstedia conoidea fruit and Ethniligera eletior inflorescens, its metabolic profile and antioxidant activity, and its potential for functional powder development. Congratulations, Mr. Alcano. You and your advisor will receive a cash prize amounting to 30,000 pesos and certificate of recognition. Your certificate is flashed on the screen. Again, congratulations, Mr. Alcano, for winning first place for this year's competition. Again, we would like to congratulate all our winners and finalists for this year's oral research paper presentation competition for the grantees of the DOST PCHRD undergraduate thesis grant in natural products. Let us give them a big round of applause. Moving on with the 2022 Helia Castillo Award for Research on Social Innovations in Health. In pursuit of its mission to support the development of affordable, accessible, and quality SNT-based solutions and innovations, the DOST Philippine Council for Health, Research and Development in collaboration with UP Manila Social Innovation in Health, Initiative Philippines Hub, and the Foundation for the Advancement of Clinical Epidemiology are proud to present the Helia Castillo Award for Research on Social Innovations in Health, or the GCARC. Dr. Helia T. Castillo is a national scientist who is recognized for her outstanding contributions to agricultural and rural development, including health, gender, environment, poverty, and inequality. Her decades-long work has always been emphasized on championing change for the neglected in society. In honor of its namesake, GCARC aims to recognize the outstanding social innovations that address persistent societal and health systems challenges. Through the innovator's experience, we can better understand why and how social innovations create impact and discover the keys to scale up or integrate these effective interventions into the larger health system. GCARC held its inaugural call in 2020 with a total of 67 entries submitted by innovators across Luzon, Visayas, and Mindanao. This year, in its second run, 82 entries were submitted by innovators all around the country. Today, we are proud to announce the 7 finalists and 3 winners of GCARC 2022 for their effective, meaningful, and sustainable solutions to complex challenges in healthcare. Let us watch this video.
Dr. Helia T. Castillo is a national scientist who believed that science must serve a human purpose. She pioneered and blazed the trail for future generations of Filipino social scientists, believing that ideas matter, individuals matter, and that they can make a difference. To celebrate her legacy, this award aims to recognize the brilliance of solutions that address complex gaps in healthcare. We celebrate the change makers who create effective, meaningful, and sustainable solutions. This year, entries were sent in by innovators across Luzon, Visayas, and Mindanao. We are proud to present the finalists and winners of this year's award. Our 7 finalists. We are proud to present the top 3 innovations of this year's award. Congratulations to our top innovations. We celebrate you, the innovators, for the dedication you have shown. Your exceptional solutions truly inspire us all.
May we call on now the representatives of the PNHRS implementing agencies on stage to award the winners for this year's celebration. May we call on our DOST Regional Director, Dr. Julius Cesar Vesicat, the UPNHIS Executive Director, Dr. Eva Marie Cosianco de la Paz, the DOH CLC HD Regional Director, Ma'am Corazon Flores, and the DOST PCHRD Division Chief, Mr. Paul Ernest De Leon. We go with the research poster competition, student and professional category. Moving on to the visual abstract poster competition, which was participated by students and professionals from various health research consortia. This competition aimed to disseminate health research studies in a visual abstract poster format. Let us begin the winners from the student category. May we request a representative from the various regions to come up on stage to receive the awards. First is the People's Choice Award. This award is given to the visual abstract poster entry with the highest number of votes on site and number of reactions and shares in Facebook. The People's Choice Award with a cash prize of 3,750 pesos inclusive of taxes is awarded to Ms. Jesely May Legarta of the University of the Immaculate Conception, representative of the Regional Health Research and Development Consortium, Region 11, with a research study entitled A Retrospective Study of on the Success Rates of Antiretroviral Therapy in Adherence of Antiretroviral Naive Patients in an HIV Treatment Hub in Davao City, Philippines. May we request Ms. Maria Belen Balbuena to receive the award on behalf of Region 11. Congratulations, Ms. Legarta. The third place with a cash prize of 12,500 pesos, inclusive of taxes, is awarded to Ms. Jaira Jade Milandres of the Cagayan State University, representative of the Cagayan Valley Health Research and Development Consortium, with a research study on effect of botong seed methanolic extract on Oncomelania quadrasi var. Yupensis snail. May we request Ms. Virginia Belguera, Dr. Julius Capili, or any representative from CVHRDC to receive the award. Congratulations, Ms. Melendez. The second place with a cash prize of 18,750 pesos inclusive of taxes is awarded to Ms. Norian Bolibol of the Mariano Marcos Memorial State University, representative of the Region 1 Health Research and Development Consortium with the research study on formulation and evaluation of oregano, lemongrass, and carimbuya polyherbal antibacterial bar. May we request Dr. Maria Lourdes Otaiza to receive the award? Congratulations, Ms. Bolibol. The first place, with a cash prize of 25,000 pesos, inclusive of taxes, is awarded to Miss Ann Gwyneth Traya of the University of the Philippines, Visayas, representative from the Western Visayas Health Research and Development Consortium with a research study on telemedicine situation and patient satisfaction in Miagao, Iloilo during the COVID-19 pandemic 2020 to 2022, a correlational study. May we request Dr. Alice Joanne Ferrer to receive the award. Congratulations, Miss Traya. We have also with us Dr. Bugayong, the thesis advisor. Congratulations po. Now let's proceed to the professional category. Again, we would like to request the awardees or representatives from their regions to come up on stage and receive the award. The People's Choice Award with a cash prize of 3,750 pesos is awarded to Mr. Melior A. General of the Bicol University, representative of the Bicol Consortium for Health Research and Development with a research study on mga katutubong gamit ng halamang singaw, a systematic review on the utilization of microfungi by indigenous communities in the Philippines. Congratulations, Mr. General. Yes, sige po. The third place under professional category with a cash prize of 18,750 pesos, inclusive of taxes, is awarded to Dr. Andy L. Catulin of the Cagayan State University. May we request a representative to receive the award? The study is entitled Sea Wonder, Nagkayan Extract Baseline-Based Antiseptic Ointment. We have also the Cagayan Valley Health Research and Development Consortium. Congratulations, Dr. Catulin. The second place under professional category with a cash prize of 27,500 pesos is awarded to Dr. Peniel P. David of the Centro Escolar University, Malolos Campus, representative of the Central Luzon Health Research and Development Consortium with a research study entitled Hair Growth Stimulating Property of Equisetum hyemale, lean extract in alopecia induced Sprague Dowry riots. Congratulations, Dr. David. And the first place under professional category with a cash prize of 37,500 pesos is awarded to Mr. Chakris Tenebro of the University of San Agustin, representative of the Western Visayas Health Research and Development Consortium with a research study on genes don't lie, genomics and metabolomics strategies unearth the pharmaceutical compounds from a novel Streptomyces with antibiotic and anti-cancer activities. Congratulations, Mr. Tenobro. Once again, congratulations to all the winners of the visual abstract poster competition. We now proceed with the 2021 Best Mentor Cluster and National winners. The Philippine National Health Research System agencies proudly present the newest recipients of the Best Mentor in Health Research Award. The prestigious award is offered biannually to recognize and reward mentors in health research who have built the capacities of researchers in the health sector and in the process propelled significant advances in the PNHRS thrust as identified in the National Unified Health Research Agenda. Awardees are selected per cluster, Luzon, Visayas, Mindanao, and NCR, and categorized according to their mentees, undergraduate students, graduate students, and junior early career researchers. Among the cluster winners, national winners are then chosen for each category. The criteria are flashed on the screen. Let us now call on stage our cluster winners. First, for the mentors of undergraduate student category from the Luzon cluster, we have Reverend Father Alfredo B. Corpus from Region 1. Reverend Father Corpus has mentored over 30 groups of undergraduate students. Currently, he is the Assistant Dean of the College of Health Sciences and the Ethics Research Committee Chair of the University of Northern Philippines. Reverend Father Corpus will receive a plaque of recognition and a cash prize amounting to 50,000 pesos. Let me read the citation. The Department of Science and Technology, Philippine Council for Health, Research and Development in cooperation with the Department of Health award this plaque of recognition to the Reverend Father Alfredo V. Corpus for being selected as the Luzon Cluster winner of the 2021 Best Mentor in Health Research Award under the Undergraduate Students category, given this 12th day of August 2022 at Clark Marriott Hotel. Congratulations, Reverend Father Corpus. Next, for the mentors of graduate students category from the Luzon cluster, we have Dr. Julius T. Capili from Region 2. Dr. Capili has mentored over 21 graduate students. Currently, he is a Professor 3 and Dean of the College of Allied Health Sciences in Cagayan State University. Dr. Capili will receive a plaque of recognition and a cash prize amounting to 50,000 pesos. Let me read the citation. The DOST PCHRD in cooperation with the DOH awards this plaque of recognition to Dr. Julius T. Capili for being selected as the Luzon Cluster winner of the 2021 Best Mentor in Health Research Award under the Graduate Students category. Congratulations, Dr. Capili. Now, let us proceed to the Visayas Cluster winners. First, for the mentors of undergraduate students category, we have Miss Carol Joy C. Remaneses from Region 6. Miss Remaneses has mentored over 100 undergraduate students. Currently, she is an Associate Professor 4 at the Aklan State University. She will receive a plaque of recognition and a cash prize amounting to 50,000 pesos. Congratulations po. Next, for the Mentors of Graduate Students category, we have Dr. Ria Jane A. Rosales from Region 8. Dr. Rosales has mentored 13 groups of graduate students and 20 groups of undergraduate students. Currently, she is an Associate Professor 4 and the Director for Institutional Research Ethics Review Committee at Samar State University. On behalf of Dr. Rosales, Engineer Ernesto M. Granada, DOST 8 Regional Director, and the Eastern Visayas HRDC Executive Com-Chair will receive the plaque of recognition and the cash prize amounting to 50,000 pesos. Congratulations po. For the Mentors of Junior Early Career Researchers category, we have Dr. Jonel P. Saludes from Region 6. Dr. Saludes has mentored over 7 undergraduate students, 13 graduate students, and 38 junior early career researchers. Currently, he is a professor and the Associate Vice President for Research and Global Relations at the University of San Agustin. Dr. Saludes will receive a plaque of recognition and a cash prize amounting to 100,000 pesos. Congratulations, Dr. Saludes. Let us now proceed to the Lone Mindanao Cluster winner. For the Mentors of Graduate Student category, we have Dr. Mylene Uy from Region 10. Dr. Uy has mentored over 18 graduate students and 9 undergraduate students. Currently, she is the director of the Premier Research Institute of Science and Mathematics at the Mindanao State University Iligan Institute of Technology. Dr. Uy will receive a plaque of recognition and a cash prize amounting to 50,000 pesos. Congratulations, Dr. Uy. Now, let us proceed to the NCR cluster winners. For the Mentors of Graduate Students category, Dr. Castillo, Dr. Agnes T. Castillo. Dr. Castillo has mentored over 27 graduate students. Currently, she is an associate professor and the International Relations Coordinator at the University of Santo Tomas, Faculty of Pharmacy. She is also a resident researcher at the UST Research Center for the Natural and Applied Sciences. Dr. Castillo will receive a plaque of recognition and a cash prize amounting to 50,000 pesos. Congratulations, Dr. Castillo. Last but definitely not the least, for the Mentors of Junior Early Career Researchers category, we have Dr. Erna Costudio Arrollado. Dr. Arrollado has mentored over 8 groups of junior early career researchers. Currently, she is a professor at the College of Pharmacy, UP Manila, and the director of the Institute of Pharmaceutical Sciences at the UP Manila, NIH. Last but definitely not the least, for the Mentors of Junior Early Career Research category, Sorry, parang nawala ako sa script ko. National winner na. Sorry sa mistake moment here. Okay. Last but definitely not the least, for the mentors of Junior Early Career Researchers category, we have Dr. Erna Costudio Arollado. Dr. Arollado has mentored over 8 groups of Junior Early Career Researchers and will receive a plaque of recognition and a cash prize amounting to 100,000 pesos. Congratulations po. Among these cluster winners, national winners are the chosen for each category. For the mentors of undergraduate students category, our national winner is Reverend Father Alfredo B. Corpus from Region 1. Reverend Father Corpus will receive a trophy and a cash prize amounting to 150,000 pesos. The DOST PSHRD, in cooperation with the DOH, present the 2021 Best Mentor in Health Research Award to Reverend Father B. Corpus for being selected as the national winner under the undergraduate students category and for unselfishly sharing his knowledge, skills, and values to his colleagues, leading to the creation of an enabling environment and contributing to capacity building in research, given this 12th day of August 2022 at Clark Marriott Hotel. Congratulations, Reverend Father Corpus. For the mentors of graduate students category, our national winner is Dr. Agnes T. Castillo from NCR. Dr. Castillo will receive a trophy and a cash prize amounting to 150,000 pesos. The DOST PSHRD, in cooperation with the DOH, presents the 2021 Best Mentor in Health Research Award to Dr. Agnes Castillo for being selected as the national winner under the graduate students category and for selflessly sharing her knowledge, skills, and values to her colleagues, leading to the creation of an enabling environment and contributing to capacity building in research. Congratulations po, Dr. Castillo. Last but not the least, for the mentors of Junior Early Career Researchers category, our national winner is Dr. Erna C. Arollado from NCR. Dr. Arollado will receive a trophy and a cash prize amounting to 200,000 pesos. The DOST PSHRD, in cooperation with the DOH, present the 2021 Best Mentor in Health Research Award to Dr. Erna Arollado for being selected as the national winner under the Junior Early Career Researches category, given this 12th day of August 2022 at Clark Marriott Hotel. Again, congratulations, Dr. Arollado. Congratulations to all our 2021 Best Mentor in Health Research awardees. To learn more about our newest Best Mentors in Health Research, let us watch this audio-visual presentation.
A mentor serves as a role model and a leader.
Being a teacher, a counselor, a consultant, and a guide.
I patiently guide them every step of the way.
I motivate them by giving success stories of those who excel.
I inspire my mentees to bring something new to the table.
I encourage innovative ideas by developing in my mentees the culture of constant improvement.
Our focus, determination, time management, proper documentation, honesty, patience, and a lot of hard work.
Of course, if our mentees would have to chase perfection, they too will be excellent.
The Department of Science and Technology, Philippine Council for Health Research and Development, recognizes the vital role of the research mentor who selflessly shares knowledge and skills, instills values and attitudes, and inspires those involved in the research process, thereby creating an enabling environment and contributing to capacity building in research. The Best Mentor in Health Research Award is offered biennially to recognize and reward mentors in health research who have built the capacities of researchers in the health sector and, in the process, propelled significant advances in the Philippine National Health Research Systems Trust as identified at the National Unified Health Research Agenda. Since the launch in 2008, the award has named several individuals with significant contributions to health research in terms of mentorship. I believe we will all agree that mentorship plays a crucial role in advancing science and technology. Thus, it is only appropriate to acknowledge and award those mentors to boost their morale and continuously encourage them to champion more quality researchers.
The awardees are selected per cluster, Luzon, Visayas, Mindanao, and NCR, and categorized according to their mentees, namely, undergraduate students, graduate students, and junior or early career researchers.
Seeing my students beaming with pride as they hold their approved book-bound thesis, getting feedbacks from the graduates that the research knowledge they learned and the research skills they developed have given them the edge in their job and made their graduate studies easier. That is my yardstick for success as a mentor. After being a mentor for 14 years, I've learned that until you know the real reasons why the students have difficulty in doing research, you will never succeed in facilitating their learning process.
Being a mentor for me is sharing oneself to other individuals, and you have to live and walk by those that you are talking about, those that you are going to preach to other individuals. Being a mentor would not just but focus on the development of the paper, but you would have to get down deeper into the roots of the character of your mentees. In fact, being a mentor is not just but providing the opportunity for our mentees to grow. In fact, we should not be afraid that our mentees become better than us. And if I may, it is actually more of a obligation that we should also create more of individuals like us, which eventually will have also the capacity of mentoring the rest of the researchers they will have in the office.
I believe the best way to encourage innovative ideas is to shout loudly with our optimism and to keep quiet with our cynicism. As mentors, we need to be givers of energy, not takers of it. I would describe my mentoring style as flexible, tailoring it to the individual, including adjustments and varying the degree and type of attention, help, advice, information, and encouragement due to differences in culture and gender. I feel honored and privileged to have been selected as one of the best mentors in health research.
The most significant is your commitment to enhance your personal skills and proficiency. Because if you continue to upskill, you have so much to offer as a mentor. To that end, you and your mentee both benefit from individual maturity and professional growth. Passionately and emotively, I inspire my mentees to bring something new to the table. I always encourage them to effectively develop their thoughts into something more powerful and stimulating. On that account, they live up to Summer State University's commitment to becoming a transformative university where technology, innovation, service excellence serve as bedrocks for exceptional contributions to the academy and society.
Innovative ideas start with knowing the most recent advances in your field of expertise. For example, if you are engaged in drug discovery, looking for antibiotics or anti-cancer agents, you must be well read in that area and then push the boundaries of knowledge based on what you have as your resources in your own laboratory, in your own institution, and ask yourself, what can I do to help solve this problem?
From the cluster winners, one national winner is selected per category of mentees, namely undergraduate students, graduate students, and junior or early career researchers.
My style as a mentor is output-oriented. I am meticulous with fine details and strict with time. I felt very happy and thankful when I learned that I won the Best Mentor in Health Research for undergraduate level for 2021. It is a clear manifestation that I am an effective mentor. The award did not change me at all, except that it made me 200,000 pesos richer. To those interested in becoming a mentor in health research, follow your heart's desire.
Mentoring of graduate students is both a privilege and a great responsibility. It is also a collaborative activity with my mentees for their growth, learning, and career development. Mentoring for me is guiding our students throughout the research journey and finding their niche, empowering them so they can achieve their goals and be able to share their expertise and then be of value to the country. As research advisor, this recognition will keep the fire burning. I believe there's still a lot of room for growth and improvement on my end. I live by the guiding principle of Napoleon Hill. Patience, persistence, and perspiration make an unbeatable combination for success. I've learned to be more patient to students who are not that dedicated or passionate with their research. As a mentor, I teach by example. I want them to realize the importance of doing research, not as a way of degree acquisition, since having the degree is just an icing on the cake. Among the values I strive to impart to my advisees are focus, determination, time management, proper documentation, honesty, patience, and a lot of hard work.
I help them see other possible directions for their research, like publication, patent, and oral presentation in national and international scientific conferences. It broadens their perspective and makes them understand the wider reach of their work and efforts. Since they are junior researchers, I patiently guide them every step of the way and give them concrete support, like being with them even on weekends. Sometimes, I also provide food, knowing that some of them would report to the laboratory without having taken their breakfast. This working environment and relationship build their confidence and trust in me. Thus, They become very open to report even the negative results without fear of being scolded, and this promoted honesty and transparency in their work.
The past years have been a challenge to all, especially to the health sector. Nevertheless, these mentors did not cease in putting their minds and hearts to continually promote growth and progress, especially in the field of health research. We are grateful and we applaud these mentors as they do their part in ushering the nation to a new normal. The DOST Philippine Council for Health Research and Development is committed to continually recognize and reward mentors in health research who have built the capacities of researchers in the health sector. With this, we are excited to announce that the call for the 2023 Best Mentor in Health Research Award will launch in October 2022. Further announcements will be posted in our DOST PNHRS social media accounts.
Again, congratulations to all our awardees. Ang bilis po ng panahon, parang kailan lang yung ating ingress. Ngayon, Friday na. So to commemorate what has transpired for this week-long celebration, panoorin po natin itong video, baka na-capture tayo ng ating SDA. Let's watch this video.
This paper presentation signals the start of this important celebration of the health research system.
We need to strengthen our research institutions and communities more and make it available across the country. With demand for research products increasing, this community needs to deliver.
We will continue to work so that our people are safer, so that our citizens have better access to healthcare, and so that the quality of our healthcare will improve.
I am more than grateful to stand here and welcome you all to the city of Mabalacat. I would like to thank you for your tireless effort and continued service to uplift the healthcare system of the country.
What information, what data, what research you put together was what was used in the front lines.
Our countrymen are praying that all our research endeavors towards resilience and recovery will succeed so that our nation can have a healthier, crisis-prepared future.
This paper presentation signals the start of this important celebration of the health research system. And rightfully so, because this is what the system is all about after all. As indicated in our program book, this activity is really a platform for the dissemination and sharing of selected health research outputs coming from the different regions in the country. It is my wish that this session will create an opportunity for dynamic and vibrant interactions, not only among our contestants and judges, but with the other participants as well. so that we can fully achieve the objectives of this activity. Let us all do our share in ensuring the success of this activity in our region.
Our training sessions have been open to not only researchers, but also to teachers as well as mentors.
The unparalleled commitment of our health researchers to pressing our nation forward for a healthier and safer future is certainly worth our recognition. This has been the key to the successes that you have enjoyed and the successes you will enjoy.
A competent, ethical, dynamic, and responsive research community working together for the attainment of national health goals is the vision of the Philippine National Health Research System. Through the system, we are able to promote cooperation and integration of all health research efforts and stakeholders in the country. Today, let me briefly share with you some of our notable accomplishments ever since the institutionalization of the Philippine National Health Research System. I would like to start with a significant milestone in 2020 wherein the Philippines was cited by the World Health Organization as among the countries which made significant progress in health research. Based on the WHO's 2020 Health Evidence Network report, the PNHRS was cited as a model for low to middle income countries with a comprehensive national strategy for health research.
Allow me first to congratulate the Central Luzon Health Research and Development and its partners, and of course the Department of Science and Technology, for successfully staging this year's Philippine National Health Research System Week.
I am very happy to be celebrating the 15th National Health Research System Week.
You make me wanna celebrate, 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 celebrate tonight.
Hi, PNHRS!
Like a picture that I've painted in my wildest dreams.
We are proud to say that health resilience is so much a part of our mandate and advocacy in the health sector. So this is also importantly supported by various laws, our Universal Healthcare Law, and even existing policies related to disasters and health.
You make me wanna celebrate, 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 celebrate.
Indeed, we look forward to a close partnership towards a resilient health system that fosters unity and cooperation, not just with our core implementing agencies and regional consortia, but across all stakeholders in health research.
Like a picture that I've painted in my wildest dreams, came to life in every feeling that you gave to me. Found a story that we saw. Every moment is a song. I'm hearing everything. You make me wanna celebrate, 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 celebrate,
maraming salamat po. Let us enjoy the night.
You make me wanna celebrate, 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 celebrate tonight. Celebrate tonight.
The life we want. Matatag, maginhawa, panatag. They want strong family and community ties, a comfortable lifestyle, and a secure future. Ito rin ba yung gusto nyo? So if it is, then you can actually identify with the millions of other Filipinos. Ganito rin ang gusto ng bawat Pilipino. Matatag, maginhawa, panatag.
Health research translation will only be possible with the cooperation, collaboration, co-funding, and trust among the researchers from the RDIs, SUCs, HEIs, the government agencies, and the private sector. Pag wala po lahat ng mga components na yon, hindi po aandar ang ating way forward. Lastly, I would like to congratulate DOST Region 3, DOST PCHRD, and all the attendees today in the 15th PNHRS celebration and affirming your commitment to health research translation. Magandang adham po sa ating lahat.
Napakaganda po ng video. Nahagi po ba tayo? Okay. So, at this point, we would like to award a plaque of appreciation. I call on stage the DOST PCHRD Division Chiefs, Mr. Paul Ernesto De Leon and Ms. Yuli Ann Garcia to award this plaque of appreciation. At this point, we would like to recognize the efforts and dedication of the Department of Science and Technology Region 3 and the Central Luzon Health Research and Development Consortium for this year's PNHRS Week celebration. May we call on stage the Regional Director and the Consortium Chair of CLHRDC, Dr. Julio Cesar V. Sicat, and Assistant Regional Director for Technical Operations and the Consortium Director, Mr. Wilfredo F. Sibal, to receive this award. Please let me read the citation. PNHRS awards this plaque of appreciation to the Department of Science and Technology, Regional Office Number 3, and the Central Luzon Health Research and Development Consortium for successfully hosting the 15th Philippine National Health Research System Week, given this 12th day of August 2022, signed by Dr. Jaime C. Montoya, Lead Coordinator of PNHRS. Thank you and congratulations, DOST Region 3, and CLHRDC. Salamat po sa DOST 3 and CLHRDC. Alright, so 2023, saan po kaya tayo? Okay. Any idea? To announce next year's host for the 16th PNHRS Week celebration in August 2023, may I call on again the Consortium Director of CLHRDC, Mr. Wilfredo FCBAT.
Maraming salamat, Randy. Woo! Last year po, nung kami imbitahan ng PCHRD to be the host for this year's celebration, kami po ay tunay na tuwa at nagalak nung nangyayari na po yung celebration. Medyo nababawasan ang galak at dumadami yung challenges, no? But I will tell you, it was a very fulfilling experience, no? It was challenging, pero nung patapos na at nalampasan lahat ng mga pagsusubok, you feel proud about what you were able to achieve, no? And so I would like to thank the entire consortium po ng Central Luzon Health Research and Development Consortium. Hindi po namin tinrabaho to ng mag-isa sa DOST. Kinailangan po yung buong consortium. And without the entire family of the Philippine Council for Health Research and Development, hindi rin po mangyayari to, no? They were with us all the way from the start, from the planning until the implementation. Hindi po kami binitawan. We could have done this without them. And so salamat din po sa ating PCHRD family for supporting this event. Siyempre, sabi nga ni Randy, ang bilis ng panahon, kailan lang nag-i-ingress tayo, ngayon nagko-closing na tayo. And so at this point, we are now ready to pass on the torch to the next host of the Philippine National Health Research System Week 2023. Ladies and gentlemen, next year's host will be the Eastern Visayas Health Research and Development Consortium. Congratulations and good luck to our friends from Region 8. Palakpakan po natin sila. And let's all watch this.
Maupay na adlaw. We at the Eastern Visayas Health Research and Development Consortium are inviting you to celebrate the 16th PNHRS Week with us. Experience our interesting history and breathtaking natural attractions, and witness our consortium's rich health research culture, enabling our researchers to thrive in the region. So sit back and fasten your seatbelts as we give you a sneak peek and a virtual tour to our home, the Eastern Visayas.
We hope to see you in next year's 16th PNHRS Week celebration in Eastern Visayas. Pakadina, dayon kamo.
Kadina! Pakadina! Pakadina!
Pakadina!
Kadina! Pakadina! Ang Eastern Visayas!
Thank you very much, Region 8. At this point, may I call on stage our Regional Director and Chair of the Central Luzon Health Research and Development Consortium and DOST 8 Regional Director for the formal turnover.
To the host Health Research and Development Consortium, the Central Luzon Health Research and Development Consortium, chaired by the DUST Region 3 Regional Director, Dr. J.C. Sikat, Dr. Eva Marie Cochonco de la Paz of UP NIH, DUST PCHRD Executive Director, Dr. Jaime C. Montoya, ably represented by Dr. Paul Ernest de Leon, DUH Region 3 Regional Director, Regional Director Corazon Flores, esteemed resource speakers, regional directors, heads of various agencies, my fellow DUST regional directors, active members of the different health research and development consortia all over the country, and participants joining in this closing ceremony and for the duration of the 15th PNHRS Week celebrations in person and online. Maupay nga aga haaton nga tanan. In Tagalog, magandang umaga po sa ating lahat. And in English, pleasant good morning, everyone. On behalf of the Department of Science and Technology, Regional Office Number 8, the Department of Health, Eastern Visayas Center for Health Development, and the Eastern Visayas Health Research and Development Consortium, or EBHRDC, I wish to thank and warmly congratulate the Philippine Council for Health Research and Development of the Department of Science and Technology and the Philippine National Health Research System, led by Executive Director and lead coordinator, Dr. Jaime C. Montoya, and the host Health Research and Development Consortium, the Central Luzon Health Research and Development Consortium, led by the chair, the DUST 3 Regional Director, Dr. Julius Cesar Sikat, for their outstanding efforts in planning and organizing this year's 15th PNHRS Week, thus leading to the resounding success of the week-long celebrations. Let's give them a round of applause, please. We also congratulate all the finalists, the winners, and the awardees of the 15th PNHRS Week celebrations. True to its theme, health research responding to challenges towards national recovery and resiliency, this event has been instrumental in highlighting and disseminating science and evidence-based approaches necessary in handling health-related emergencies. Indeed, not only has this event been a success, but also has been a refreshing experience interacting with each and every one of you gathered here after the challenges that we have faced during the peak of the COVID-19 pandemic. The Eastern Visayas Health Research and Development Consortium, or EBHRDC family, would like to extend our gratitude to the PNHRS for choosing EBHRDC as the next host of the 16th PNHRS week in the second week of August of 2023. We are privileged for this new opportunity given to our consortium, and we are very much ready to accept the challenge of hosting this prestigious annual activity. We are excited to be working with the DUST-PCHRD and the PNHRS in making next year's event equally successful undertaking. Again, thank you so much for supporting and the trust and confidence afforded to the Eastern Visayas Health Research and Development Consortium, and we hope to see you all in Eastern Visayas to celebrate the 16th Philippine National Health Research System Week celebrations with us, as we say in Waray-Waray, pakadina kamo ha Eastern Visayas. Muli, magandang umaga po sa ating lahat. Mabuhay po ang PNHRS. Mabuhay po tayong lahat.
Thank you very much, Dr. Granada. Okay, to officially close the 15th PNHRS Week celebration, let us watch the video of our lead coordinator of the Philippine National Health Research System and the Executive Director of the Philippine Council for Health Research and Development, Dr. Jaime C. Montoya.
To Civil Service Commission Chairperson, Attorney Carlo Dograles, National Economic and Development Authority Undersecretary for National Development and Policy and Planning, Dr. Rosemary Edilion, former Department of Science and Technology Undersecretary for Research and Development, Dr. Rowena Cristina Guevara, to our partners in the Philippine National Health Research System, and our counterparts in the Central Luzon Health Research and Development Consortium, our regional Health Research and Development Consortia, distinguished guests, everyone who joined us both physically and virtually this week, good morning. On behalf of the Department of Science and Technology, Philippine Council for Health Research and Development, the lead coordinating agency of the PNHRS, thank you for being with us during this 15th PNHRS week. We are glad to meet some of you face-to-face again after almost 2 years of celebrating the PNHRS week virtually. At the same time, we are equally happy to see everyone's support for this event through our online platforms. With the theme, health research responding to health challenges towards national recovery and resiliency, the PNHRS continues to leverage research and development among its network to address the changing health needs of the communities across the country. This past week has been truly fruitful as we learn from each other's experiences and best practices. I hope that these conversations help us strengthen our systems, making us better prepared for future health challenges. Indeed, opportunities to interface with one another in the health research community are valuable as it allows us to harmonize efforts towards our shared goals. Our pre-conference sessions composed of research competitions, workshops, training, and meetings conducted by the PNHRS committees once again prove that every year we have very talented researchers from different regions joining us to showcase their expertise and health research undertakings. On behalf of the PNHRS, congratulations to the presenters, finalists, and winners of our activities for a job well done. We are glad to witness the growth and expansion of our network every year as we meet new partners in the field of health and health research through this celebration. Indeed, it is also very heartwarming to see the President joining us in person for this year's PNHRS celebration. This is truly a first for a Philippine President to join us in the PNHRS celebrations. As emphasized in his keynote, the President assures the health research community of this administration's support for the system and its initiatives, aiming to foster cooperation among the agencies, the network, and its stakeholders in making Filipino lives better through health R&D. As we inch closer to the establishment of the Virology and Vaccine Institute of the Philippines, as well as the Centers for Disease Control in the country, our network grows to be more essential. It is my hope that with the system's upcoming major undertakings, we will further strengthen our partnerships with the health research community so that we can provide an enabling environment where our health scientists, researchers, academia, and institutions can flourish and cultivate health research initiatives that will eventually benefit our country and our people. All of these, of course, are geared towards realizing our vision of healthy Filipino communities, even when challenged with emerging health crises. With our shared mission, I hope that we will continue to work in solidarity to bring solutions closer to our communities. At this juncture, I would like to thank everyone who helped make this 15th PNHRS Week celebration a success. I would like to thank the Central Luzon Health Research and Development Consortium for working tirelessly and with sheer dedication under the leadership of Director J.C. Sikat and Willie Sibal. Thank you from the bottom of my heart. The work we had to do to prepare for the visit of the President was no less remarkable and amazing. Thank you for making this possible in record time. I would like to thank all of our friends from Malacanang, the Presidential Management Staff, the Presidential Security Group, the Malacanang Press Corps, and all the offices that help us prepare for the visit of the President. Maraming salamat po sa inyong lahat. I would also like to thank our colleagues from the DOH, led by Director Cora Flores and her able team from CHD Region 3. Your support for ensuring that diagnostics are done promptly in preparation for the President's visit is much appreciated. Your support and help are truly invaluable. I would like to thank our colleagues from the core agencies of the PNHRS, the DOH led by OIC USEC Rosette Vergere, CHED Chair Popoy De Vera, UP Manila NIH, led by Chancellor Padilla and Dr. Cuchonco de la Paz, and faculty, and DOST, led by OIC USEC Renato Solidum and former Secretary Fortunato de la Peña. I would like to thank my co-workers in DOST, all of the officials, and most especially my co-workers at the Philippine Council for Health Research and Development. We are truly family. I would like to commend and thank Paula De Leon and her very capable team from IDD. Paul, Yuli, Mitch, and all of the divisions, and everyone in the council. I am truly proud of all of you. Last but not the least, I would like to thank all of you, participants and researchers, scientists and colleagues from the different regions of the country, our network of research and academic institutions from both the government and the private sector. The PNHRS always works for all of you. You are indeed the reason why we are all here, to make lives better for the Filipino people through health research. Until the next PNHRS Week, maraming salamat po at mabuhay tayong lahat. See you all in Tacloban next year. Padayon.
Thank you, Dr. Montoya. Ayun, Tacloban po pala next year. Okay. Okay, that officially closes the PNHRS Week celebration. Congratulations again to all the winners, and we sincerely thank our guests, resource speakers, and the consortia for celebrating the 15th PNHRS Week with us physically here in Clark, Pampanga. Have a safe trip back to your homes. We also thank our participants who have joined us online. May we request again everyone to please answer our evaluation form, flash on your screens, and pin on the comment section and chat box. Only participants who have successfully submitted their accomplished evaluation forms will be given an electronic copy of their certificate of attendance. Okay, at this juncture, we'd like to call on stage for the formal turnover the representatives from the Central Luzon Health Research and Development Council and the Eastern Visayas Health and Research Development Council for the photo op. Okay, from Central Luzon to Eastern Visayas. Okay, while they're preparing on stage, again, meron po tayong products from Pampanga for sale. Nasa labas po kung gusto nyo pong bumili ng pasalubong ninyo. These are DOST3 assisted films po. Sa labas po ng atong ballroom, Pampanga products for sale. Okay, may I call on stage also the member institutions of the CLHRDC? The member institutions of the CLHRDC on stage. And our Assistant Regional Director for Finance and Admin Services of DOST3, Ma'am Belen Garcia on stage.
Ma'am Bell, please join us. Doc Ray,
Doc Al, nandiyan ba si Doc Al? Sarili na ka na yan? Hati ka pa sabihan? Sige, sige. Sinabi ko na natin.
Okay, thank you very much, CLHRDC and EVHRDC. Okay, so that formally ends our celebration. Dakal pong salamat kay Kayungan. Mabuhay ang PNHRS. Happy lunch po sa lahat. Lunch is served on your left and right side. Again, may Pampanga products po tayo for sale. You may want to buy before going home. Marami pong salamat.
Cause you're a sky full of stars. I'm gonna give you my heart. Cause you're a sky full of stars. Cause you light up the path. I don't care, go on and tear me apart. I don't care if you do. Cause in the sky full of stars, I think I saw you. Cause you're a sky full of stars. I wanna die in your arms. Cause you get lighter the more it gets dark. I'm gonna give you my heart. I don't care, go on and tear me apart. When the sun had left and the winter came and the sky fall could only bring the rain, I sat in darkness, oh broken hearted. I couldn't find a day, I didn't feel alone. I never meant to cry, started losing hope somehow, baby. You broke through and saved me, you're an angel. Tell me you'll never leave it, 'cause you're the first thing I know I can't believe it. Holy, 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 I'm high, I'm loving you, high, I'm loving you, you're holy, 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 I'm high, I'm loving you, high, I'm loving you. You made the brightest days from the darkest nights. You're the riverbank where I was baptized, cleansed all the demons that were killing my freedom. Let me lay it down, give it to you, get you singing, babe. Hallelujah. We'll be touching heaven. You're an angel to me, I'll never leave it. 'Cause you're the first thing I know I can't believe it. Stars, 'cause you shine for me. Like fire in my veins, you're my ecstasy. You're my ecstasy. You're holy, 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 holy. I'm loving you. I'm loving you. You're holy, 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 holy. I'm loving you. I'm loving you. You're holy, 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 holy. I'm loving you. I'm loving you. You're holy. Shawty's like a melody in my head that I can't keep out. Got me singing like na 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 every day. Like my iPod stuck on replay. Remember the first time we met? You was at the mall with your friends. I was scared to approach you, but then you came closer, hoping you would give me a chance. Who would have ever knew that we would end up being more than friends? But we were worldwide, breaking all the rules. She's like the song played again and again, like some of a poster. Is a dime, they say. Is a gun to my holster. She's running through my mind all day. Shawty's like a melody in my head that I can't keep out. Got me singing like na 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 every day. And my iPod stuck on replay. Shawty's like a melody in my head that I can't keep out. Got me singing like na 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 every day. And my iPod stuck on replay. See, you've been all around the globe. Not once did you leave my mind. We talk on the phone, night to the morning. Girl, you really changed my life. Doing things I never do. I'm in the kitchen cooking things she likes. We're worldwide, breaking all the rules. Someday I wanna make you my wife. Like some of a poster. Is a dime, they say. Is a gun to my holster. She's running through my mind all day.